Hey y'all, we are going to show off Victorian Varnish tonight. This is part 3 of their Polish Beauty Expo lives because Tammy just keeps making more and we love her for it. But yes, we have a part 3 for Polish Beauty Expo from Victorian Varnish. Carrie just came in and so did Melissa. Welcome y'all. Christy is here. Hey, it's Melissa is also here. Very exciting. I hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday. No matter how you spent the day, I hope it was great. Christy said, hey y'all, with our little distorted face emoji. Laura is here. Hi, Laura. I'm going to send this really quickly. Hello, Maria, to our broadcasting channel. So everyone in there knows that we are live. I'm also going to quickly just click some of the people who usually watch. If you are already in here and I click on you, I apologize. But again, just clicking on some of our regular Hangout crew. Perfect. Okay. So like I was saying, Victorian Varnish part 3 for the Polish and Beauty Expo. That is what I'm going to show off tonight. Now, these polishes that I'm going to show are the Jazzed Jellies collection. It is a 10-piece neon jelly collection, and it is not exclusive to the Polish and Beauty Expo. They're going to release early at PBE on July 19th, shopping day, but they will be available on Victorian Varnish's site later on. July 30th at 8 a.m. It's a morning release, so make sure you mark that down in your calendars. Central time, but they will be available July 30. I said 30th, didn't I? I meant 31st. Now I'm questioning myself. 31st. Okay. July 31st, 8 a.m. You will be able to get your hands on these. They are going to release early at the Polish and Beauty Expo. They're also going to have a slight discount, purchase the whole set at the expo, but they will be available for everyone later on. Hello, Tiana. Welcome in. Hi, Frida. So yes, I'm very excited to get into these. There has been jokes about how many polishes Tammy is releasing. It just dropped. We had our main line replaced about a month ago, and that was supposed to fix the problem. But for the last week, at least once a day, our internet goes out. And today that happened this morning already. So I thought that was our once a day. And then, yeah, now it decided to go out again. So we are tethered to my other phone, and fingers crossed it won't happen again. Apologies, y'all. And I will be calling Charter as soon as I get up tomorrow morning because this is absolutely ridiculous. Tammy joined. Hi, Miss Tammy. Christy said, hey, Tammy, and sent our emoji. Tammy said, freezing is Instagram freezing for anyone. Nope, it was just 100% my fault this time. Or I'm not even going to 100% take the blame. 100% Charter's fault this time. But it is on my end. So hopefully everyone else is good and it's not, doesn't happen again, y'all. I'm driving me nuts. We're getting all the distorted face emojis. That's my face right now. That's my face. I'm so beyond frustrated with this. The amount we pay and the amount our internet drops, and like supposedly people were having trouble. I don't remember if it was yesterday or Friday morning. People were having trouble with it in the neighborhood, and Charter was out in their street fixing it too. So again, you'd think that our problem would be fixed, and it's not. So tomorrow morning, that will be the first thing I do. I say tomorrow morning, but I guess technically I could call tonight because it is a 1-800 24-hour thing, whatever. We'll see when I get off here if I remember. If not, for sure tomorrow morning I will be talking to Charter because I am so freaking tired of this. Tammy said, give me 5 minutes stall for a bit. No worries, Tammy. We still have to talk about PBE anyways. So still time. Go do, whoa, Tammy, what? Tammy just said ambulance just pulled up. Okay, you come back and give us an explanation on that, but go deal what you need to deal with first. Hi, Nirda. Welcome in. You didn't just deal with the internet crashing while we were on here. So for you, this is all new. Sandy is here too. Hi, Sandy. Okay, Polish and Beauty Expo. I am showing the Jazzed Jellies for Victorian Varnish that are going to release at the expo on July 19th. They will be available to everyone on VV's site July 31st at 8 a.m. Central Time. So these are just coming out early at the Polish Beauty Expo, but they are not exclusive. There is a discount at the show. If you buy the entire 10-piece set, it is only $100 at the show. They will be $110 on VV's site. So you do get a discount at the same time. Nirda, oh my God, thank you for sending me. I lost track of time. That's okay. I sent in the broadcasting channel, and then I've been trying to just like click people that it suggests at the same time too. So again, if I didn't send it specifically to you, it's not that I forgot about you. It was that it wasn't quick clickable and I didn't want to spend 20 minutes doing it. So sometimes or often I've been trying to send to the group and then clicking on a few people too. Let's see. Melissa said, ambulance, what happened? Yeah, I don't know yet either. I'm awaiting when Tammy comes back. I'm sure she will explain. Sandy said, hello everyone. Helen is here. Hello, Helen. And Carrie said, ambulance sounds like more than 5 minutes. Hope all is co. Okay. I'm hoping so too. I'm hoping that it's like, she just looked out the window and there was, okay, she says I'm back. Now you have to explain, Tammy, because we are all like, why is there an ambulance? What's happening? Our neighbor. Okay. But still, we need a little bit more than that because this feels like a situation. It also feels a little bit like tea. Just making sure she was okay. Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Well, I hope that everything goes okay with your neighbor. I'm sending all the good vibes out there. Cause yeah. Wow. Okay. This live has started off with a bang, y'all. A literal bang. What better way to start a live for 4th of July weekend than with some craziness. Melissa said, oh my God, I hope they're okay. Yes, I do too. So sending all the good vibes to your neighbor, Tammy. Fingers crossed everything is good. Hello, Miss Jen. All right, so I talked about these are coming to PBE. If you are unfamiliar with PBE, PBE is an in-person shopping event with 40 plus indie beauty and polish makers. It is a super fun event for you to get to meet the makers and meet other nail polish enthusiasts like yourself. It is July 18th and 19th at the Tinley Park Convention Center outside of Chicago. It is a super fun event. Absolute blast. You will make memories and friends for a lifetime, I promise you. Tammy said it was her sugar, all good. Okay, I'm very glad to hear that. Chrissy said, oh, poor neighbor, too hot for this nonsense. We actually, y'all, our temperature, we had severe weather storms in the middle of yesterday, and then our temperature plummeted to the point where, like, I was in a blanket watching fireworks last night. It was kind of ridiculous. And Carrie said, last night was a bang. I yelled at my neighbors. Oh, gosh. Well, does anyone else have any crazy 4th of July stories from yesterday? I hope everyone had a great day, but I hope everyone was also very safe and non-emergencies for that situation. But PBE, super fun event. If you are in the Chicago area or you are near the Chicago area or you don't mind traveling, I highly recommend that you check it out. I will have information up on the screen when we flip you around into that back camera so you can look up more about it. They also do tutorial tables so you can learn to stamp, water marble. My brain is not working any other techniques. Water slide decals. Some of them are self-guided. Some of them are taught by a volunteer. That's the word we need there. So it's a lot of fun. It's a super cool event. I have talked about it many times. I know most of you in the chat know what it is at this point. And because this is our 3rd Victorian Varnish, yes, I said 3rd Big B, PBE live. I'm not going to super go into all the details again because again, we pretty much know about it. But I will put all the information on the screen as I usually do. So those who are new can learn about it more or do more research. And you can also check out all of my other PBE lives, which have been posted here and are in their own separate playlist over on my YouTube channel to find out more about it. Hello, Melissa. She just joined. Let's see. Jen said, hey y'all, excuse me, late because I was looking for a polish for Nirda and found it. Well, I bet Nirda will love to know that. Chrissy, oh my gosh, lucky our storms just made it humid. Yeah, no, ours dropped it. It was like, I think we dropped to 72 last night, which after having 106 this whole week or in that area, was literally cold. Like I started off the evening in a tank top and shorts. I switched to a t-shirt and shorts and I had like wished I had jeans and a hoodie and I ended up getting out my blanket out of my car because I was freezing my butt off. Tammy waved and sent more distorted faces and said, oh, I drove Chewy around the interstate because of all of them. LOL. Jen, my son saw his first parking lot type fireworks last night and he loved them. Oh, I'm so glad Alex loved them. Tammy laughed and sent a tongue emoji and some cover face. And Miss Slopes, who I was talking about before our inner went down, Slopes is the reason Tammy has 10 more polishes in this bag because she said we need one for every finger. So now we have 10 neon jellies instead of just a small neon jelly collection. So we can thank her for it. So Melissa said hi. Jen says it was fantastic. I'm so glad you guys had a wonderful night. Nirda said, Jen, I freaking love you. Slope said happy anniversary again to you and Kevin. Thank you so much, Slope. Thank you. Yesterday was me and Kevin's 8-year married anniversary. We had a great time. We went to a friend's house and had a barbecue and fireworks, and they bought us a cake, which then they sent home, and I was like, now we have a massive cake in our house. But it was really fun. It's always fun to get to celebrate with our friends every year. So Jen said, Nirda, gotta add some thinner, but I'll send it your way. And Slope said, you're welcome. Chrissy said, my Lena, did I say that right? Or Linnea? Would get overstimulated by nearly every damn thing sometimes, but she loved fireworks. Slope said, and donuts. Yes, we went and bought our donuts. We do a tradition of having donuts every morning because for our wedding cake, we had a donut tower. So we try to get donuts every morning. Usually Kevin goes out before I wake up and picks up donuts and flowers and all that jazz. But we've had a very eventful week, a very busy week. So he didn't want to wake me up by leaving. He didn't want to risk any form of getting out the door and waking me up. So instead, when I got up, we went to a local donut shop that we hadn't tried in our area, and we got some local coffee and just went to a park and enjoyed our coffee and donuts before the day got started. So Carrie said, yes, happy anniversary. Thank you. Chrissy said happy anniversary. And Linnea. Ooh, that's really pretty. I will try really hard to remember it. You know, I'm not the best at it, but I will try really hard. That is very pretty. Okay, we're going to open these, y'all, because as I said, there are 10 polishes in this package. So we're going to get these open. We are going to swatch them. Now they're jellies, so I'm going to swatch them a little bit differently. I'm going to swatch all of them on clear swatch sticks so you can actually see the opacity fully with these. I think we're going to do the same that we've done in our last couple lives where we do it per polish. So I'm going to do 1 coat and 2 coats back to back so you can see the layer. I'm actually going to do 1 coat and then only half of a 2 so you can see that difference. And then we're going to play a little bit with them. We're going to do just some simple art things that you can do with a jelly. So if you've never used a jelly polish, you can get some ideas, some creativity. One of the most amazing things about jellies is they're literally endless possibilities. You can do just about any type of art you want or art you've never thought of or never seen, and like it's gonna come out really cool. So we're gonna play with these a little bit as well as just swatching them. Tammy has asked swatchers to show them in 1, 2, and 3 coats when we do swatch them. I am gonna do that, but for tonight's live, I'm just gonna do 1 and 2 coats so you can see that build up because her last jellies were fairly opaque on that 2. If you pushed it, you could be 100% on 3. So 2, I think, still gets that jelly vibe, and I don't really want to look for opacity in these jellies. So for the live, I'm going to do the 2 coats. For swatches, I will show them. I'm planning, I think, to do a 1, 2, 3 coats, and then I think I'm going to do art/pond mayonnaise on the index so we can show playing with them too. But for this tonight, 2 coats, also because there are 10 polishes, and if you do 3 coats of every polish, we are never going to get out of here. So what else do we have here? Jen said, Chrissy, Alex does not like loud noises, but he loved the bright colors. I love that. We had 4 kids, I think, last night at our little get together, and they all wore canceling headphones so they could watch and then not hear, which was great. And they had an absolute blast. No pun intended. Chrissy, we got it. Pretty Flower and my favorite horror movie actress, LOL. Oh, I got it. I said it correctly. Pretty Flower and my favorite horror movie actress, LOL. And my girls have spooky names. All my girls have spooky names and a flower name. That's really cool. And Chrissy said, Jen, I fully was convinced that was the thing of it. The colors canceled out the noise. Tammy said, fun. Slope says, and we will be here for 3 hours if you do 3 coats tonight. That is true. And I'm not going to lie. We're trying not to do that. 2 hours, if it happens. But 3 hours, no go. That's also the reason why we have split our VV lives up into 3 portions. So that way we don't have a 2.5, 3 hour live like we did the other night. Y'all, I love you. I absolutely love hanging out with you. But it is exhausting to go that long with talking. Like if you think about it, I don't shut up during that whole time. Whether I'm on screen or we're flipped around, there's no dead air, there's no dead space. So to talk for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, A, kills my voice. B, I literally get off of here and I'm like dead. I'm like, give me some food, turn on some basic TV, and I just turn into a vegetable for like 2 hours. So that's why we've already split it up. So again, we're not going to do 3 coats tonight for my mental health and also for just, you know, you guys have other things to do tonight, but we are going to show them in the 2 coats, and I do want to play around with them a little bit too. Jensen, unfortunately, Alex also hates to wear things on his head or face, or earmuffs are a no-go. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Totally get it. So I'm glad that you were able to successfully do it and he could see them and not be super overstimulated. So Chrissy said 1 for every finger always. Yep. That was Slopes, 1 for every finger. Last year we had a nice 6. It was, you know, fun, doable. Now we've got 10. No, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great. Plus the fact that they're neon. So let's get into opening these. Tammy said, everybody shh, LOL. All right, let's get into it. First one, of course, is a green, and that's been like the last month. I feel like that's been our lives. The first thing I pull out is green, so y'all know I'm not mad at it. I have to put these in a different spot than I usually do because I like prepped and got things out for doing art. Slope said, Chrissy, thank you. And Frida said, my granddaughter hates loud noises. She has got where she self-monitors, and if it's too much, she just goes and pops her nose for canceling. Oh. Pops her noise. Okay, y'all, I read that so wrong. I was like, why is she popping her nose? She pops on her noise canceling headphones. That is, yeah, that's what the kids did yesterday. Do not back her up to Slope's. Right. This is also Slope's fault. And Tammy laughed and said, I joke. And Chrissy said, oh, I'm going to say it wrong again. Linnea? Did I get it right that time? And I have already lost my phonetic spelling. Linnea. I'm gonna try. Linnea hated things covering her ears, although she used to plug her ears with her fingers sometimes when things got too loud. But she loved loud music. Kids are funny. Kids are very funny. You can't, like, they just do what they want. No, there's no reasoning. There's no figuring out their reasoning. Yeah. Okay. Green that's the first one we opened. It is called Gnarly. And again, y'all, this is the Jazzed Jellies collection. It is a 10-piece jelly collection that launches at the Polish Beauty Expo during the sale day of July 19th. But they will be, these are not overpours. They will release on Vivi's site July 31st at 8 a.m. Central. It is a morning launch, so make sure you launch. Make sure you mark your calendars. They are going to have a discount at the Polish Beauty Expo if you buy the full collection. But that's the only difference. You're still going to be able to get these later. So if you can't make it to the expo, you don't have to stress. You can get your hands on these. So we have Gnarly, which is a green jelly. It's got a little bit of blue tint to it instead of it being like a basic green. Very, very pretty. Definitely excited to see these out of the bottle because the bottle doesn't really tell us anything except for the shade. We will do opacity checks and all that jazz on our on our swatch sticks when we get to that. Also note, I don't actually have descriptions for any of these. Tammy just said, you can self-describe them. Have fun to all of us swatchers. So that's what we're going to do. I do have prices. They will be $12 each. If you pick them up at the Polish Beauty Expo, you can get the 10-piece set for $100. If you are not attending or you're going to wait for the website, they will be $12 each on the website or $110 for the set. So there is a small discount for picking them up at the show. Hey, Kaylee, how are you doing? Chrissy said, ooh, that's a lovely shade, isn't it? She said, yay, I made it. I think you did. We are just now unboxing. We've had internet issues. Tammy has had an ambulance show up outside of her house. She popped up, came back. She's fine. Everything's fine. It was for her neighbor who was also fine. But we've had craziness, and you know I chat. So we're just getting open. You've only missed me opening Gnarly from our Jazzed Jellies. So you are totally good. Chrissy said, hey Kaylee, and sent a distorted face. And Chrissy sent a distorted face. Kaylee sent to, y'all are killing me with have Kaylee and Chrissy right there next to each other. Chrissy said hi to Kaylee. Kaylee said hi to Chrissy. You're caught up. Frida said, Chrissy, oh, Anastasia loves music. Seeing her princessy self out to heavy music cracks me up. And Kaylee said, hey Kaylee. All right, our next one, y'all, is Bodacious. And again, I said that these are neon jellies, and this is a neon red. It is so stinking bright. It is actually really close to the shade of Favorite Fashion Accessory, which is a exclusive from Back to the 80s set that Tammy is doing at PBE. It's like, okay, no, it's not even close to that. I was like, it's close to that. It's not even close. So we're going to ignore that. But this is also coming. I did post my swatches of this today. It's gorgeous. But this is Bodacious, and it is so, so bright. Can y'all see that mixing ball? That really shows you how jelly these are, despite them looking opaque in the bottle. Those mixing balls are very, very visible. So definitely jellies. Kaylee said, I finally ordered 30-pound magnet from Tammy. Yay! And Carrie said, I love you, Carrie. Carrie actually typed out. Carrie says hi to Christy and Kaylee. LOL. Thank you, Carrie. Christy said, Frida, that's so cute. And Kaylee said, hi, Carrie, with our distorted face emoji. Salope said, woohoo to Kaylee. Tammy is laughing at all of us. And Teeny Bubbles is here. Hey, Christina. Y'all, I got to hang out with Christina and her wonderful family this week. They came through town after stopping at Tammy's house and came up and hung out with us. We had dinner with them, and then we had breakfast with them, and then they came and spent hours at our shop, and I think we all, like, I know that they were in heaven in the shop, but like we were just in heaven having them in the shop. So it was an absolute blast getting to hang out with them. I'm really glad we get to do it. I'm so excited for PBE. Y'all, PBE is officially less than 2 weeks away. Technically, shopping day is 2 weeks now. I mean, I leave out on Friday, so it's a little less than 2 weeks for me. I am so excited. If you are attending Polish and Beauty Expo and you see me there, please come say hi to me. I love meeting everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone. I also might have a little bit of a something if you come say hi to me. So a little bit of encouragement. Maybe if you're standoffish or a little afraid, I do have a little bit of a treat. So if you want to come say hi to me, please do. Tammy said, thank you. I feel like I missed something, but I don't know what it is. Kaylee said we were making Chelsea forget our names. I'm not forgetting your names. I'm just having trouble saying Kaylee said hi to Kylie, and Kylie, like, Chrissy said hi to Kaylee, and like because of it, and I know your name, but then I'm reading names, and I'm not forgetting your names. I'm just confused reading everything. Christina said hello, and Tammy said me too. Chrissy said, oh dang, Christina went on tour. She did. She did a 2-week vacation where she stopped and met a bunch of the nail friends in the community, and I was really blessed and honored to be part of that trip too. Nira said, oh my god, I want to come visit. Do it. Come visit anytime anybody wants to come to St. Louis. Come see me, please. Chrissy said, Christina said, Chrissy, I sure did. Tammy said, yes, bring Luna. Definitely. We definitely all want to see Luna. And Kaylee said, too many K's. That's what it is. Too many K's. And they're very similar with Chrissy and Kaylee. And Nira said, of course she comes with me everywhere. Well, that's part of the package, but we just want you to know she is welcome. I want to see her. Next polish, y'all, because that's what we're doing here is opening polishes, is Like Totally. And it is a magenta pink. It's got a little bit berry toned. Again, you can see, if I get it fast enough, those mixing balls, so it shows you just how jelly they are. Beautiful color. I'm also not going to spend too much time on this opening because, y'all, they're neon jellies. The color in the bottle is the color. We don't have any shimmers. There's no extras. And what we really want to see is that opacity out of the bottle. So I'm not trying to rapid fire open in these, but also, like, how much can I describe this blue jelly? It's a jelly. So not that they're not pretty, Tammy. They are very pretty. I'm just saying there's a reason. Y'all, this is my info sheet. This is my info for 10 polishes. So even Tammy was like, what do I tell you? They're jellies. So it's not me, y'all, being too quick and all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, if Tammy gives you this description, you know there's not a lot going, because we've heard Tammy's descriptions. We get a dictionary. We got, y'all, our next one. Again, jelly. Bright neon green jelly. This one is called Wicked Cool. And did anybody else hear that in, like, oh my gosh, y'all, I just forgot his name. Mark Wahlberg's voice. Him and Ted. And Ted. Anyways, sorry. Wicked Cool is a beautiful bright neon. And I bet you this black light glows too. And maybe if we remember at the end, we will do that. I will move my black light. It's going to be a little bit more complicated having 10 individual swatch sticks to do this, but I will try and remember because these are neon jellies. Tammy said, LOL. Slope says, I was her first stop, although it was short for Christina's visit. Christina said, Slopes, I know, I wish we could have had more time. But we'll see everybody at PBE. We'll have so much time at PBE, y'all. Chrissy's laughing, and Tammy said, oh, also, these are like the others in Dry Perfect Matte Satin. Yes, they are going to dry matte, which I have also grabbed out my Illuminate, because I'm also going to do half the swatch top coat, which I know we don't top coat here usually, but I am going to top half the swatch so you can see how they dry versus if you top coat them. They are manicure ready. They're walk out the door ready. You do not have to top coat these for sustainability if you do not want to. So if you like them matte, you're good to go walk out the door. But if you want them shiny, you can grab your Illuminate, throw it on there, and have a juicy, glossy jelly effect. And we're going to do that. Again, I don't usually do top coats, but for tonight, for these, I want you to be able to see them, so we are. Which is also why we're not doing 3 coats of every polish, because we're going to do top coat. So adding more onto my stuff. And Tammy said, I have absolutely no idea why the fuck Instagram just did that. But I'm back. Did it kick you out? I thought we fixed that issue. Tammy sent our distorted face, and Chrissy said, with more distorted face emojis. Next we have a Rad Ride, which I thought, y'all, that this was a red, but now I'm thinking it's a orange because this is definitely a very true red. So this one has way more orange to it. So Bodacious is more of a orange. And then Rad Ride is definitely a red, cherry red jelly here. Next, I think we have purple. Tammy said, who knows? Well, hopefully it doesn't happen again. I think the chat issue has fixed. I haven't had any audio issues again recently. And I just feel like everything has been cooperating, fingers crossed. So Chrissy said orange and Tammy said orange. Next we have a tubular, which is a purple. We're kind of a deep grape kind of purple color here. Christina said orange. I haven't heard that one before. You haven't heard orange? We have blurple. I say orange all the time. It's a red orange. It's not red. It's not orange. It's a orange, right? Carrie said orange. Reminds me of Cajun shrimp. Tammy said, yeah, I can see that. I can see Cajun shrimp there. Chrissy said, love me orange. I love that you guys are roaring as we're saying it. But yes, tubular is kind of a grape jelly kind of purple here. Again, definitely a jelly. So yeah, I don't think you can see the mixing ball through that one. What do we have next? We have a blue. This one is Funky Fresh, and it is a cobalt blue neon jelly here. Tammy said, ooh, Moon-Tini is on your hand. I just noticed it is. It is. We'll show it closer when we flip around. This is a thermal, part of the Drinks on My Nails coming to PBE from Victorian Varnish. It is quite hot in my office at the moment, which is why we don't have a ton of shift. There's a little bit on some of them. And then my right hand is Moon Walking at Tinley, which I will definitely show closer, y'all, because this is fantastic. This is one of the PBE doorbusters from Victorian Varnish coming, and you are not gonna want to miss it because it's so good. But I will show them closer, and I will put that in the description box like I always do. But yes, Funky Fresh is definitely a cobalt neon blue here. Again, very excited to see these out of the bottle because in the bottle you just can't tell what a jelly is gonna look like. Ooh, holy neon yellow though. Do y'all see that through the bubble wrap? Like, hello, this should be my face right now. Like, it is so bright, but I can't actually make that face. I've tried. This is Bogus. Perfect name for this one. And it is very highlighter yellow. It literally looks like there's just a highlighter in this bottle. Again, you can see, can I get it to do it? Those mixing balls. So they are definitely a true jelly consistency here, which means we are going to be sheer. We are not looking for build-up opacity on these, y'all. If you are not a jelly fan, these are not for you. This live is probably not for you unless you just want to hang out and have fun with us. You're welcome to. But every single polish tonight is a jelly. Let's see. Chrissy said, ooh. Tammy said, heart eyes. Frida said, oh, that purple on your nails. It's so pretty, y'all. So pretty. I did all of the thermals after we showed the live the other night, and they are all absolutely beautiful. Tammy said, our new thermal, Frida. So pretty. Nerida said, Tammy, how does that blue jelly compare to Riveting Blue from Pantone? Well, it's a jelly, and the Riveting Blue from the Pantone collection was very much a cream. Chrissy said, OMFG, that over a white cream. Yes. And Nerida said, besides that, it's a jelly. Well, there you go. Kaylee said, oh, yeah, in the saga of my car, the police report is still not done. Oh my gosh, Kaylee, I hate that you're still dealing with all that. Tammy said neon jelly versus blue cream. So that's the only difference. It's probably pretty close in shade. Kaylee said, and this week our AC went out. Oh my gosh, Kaylee, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you all the good vibes, all the positivity that things just get better for you, girl. That is crazy. Chrissy said, certified jelly hater here. I just like y'all. Well, thank you for hanging out with us still, Chrissy. Tammy said, two different things entirely. Kaylee said, Chrissy, I love jelly so much. And she sent Slopes sent kisses to Chrissy. Good Lord. Chrissy said, Kaylee, no. That's okay, you guys. That just means one of you can have all the creams and one of you can have all the jellies. It's fine. It's like when people tell me they hate pickles and they're like, we can't be friends. I'm like, we can totally be friends because I can eat all your pickles. Chrissy said, Kaylee, no. Tammy said neon pigment versus blue pigment. That is true. The Pantone ones were not neons and these are all neons. Kaylee said, Chrissy, I'm alive, just sweaty. Oh, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. And with this heat wave right now and no AC, I am so sorry. Next we have Chihu. Y'all, I can hear the sound of it in my head. I don't know that I actually said it correctly, but this is a hot neon pink jelly. It's not even really showing up quite properly on camera. It's pulling a little more red because of how bright it is. Tammy said, Chrissy, they are amaze balls though. Yeah, I like jellies. I think jellies are a lot of fun. But Chrissy hates visible nail line, and that's probably why she hates jellies. But you could put all of these over a white base or any of the steampunk shimmers, the Shimmer Sweets collection. Any of those would be gorgeous as bases. When we did our jelly collection last summer, I showed those all over. Every single one of those 5 shimmers or 6 shimmer, all the Shimmer Sweets collections, and they were stunning. So keep that in mind too, Chrissy, that you can totally use these over any base and just get a little bit of a squishy look instead of having the visible nail line. Let's see. Kaylee said, bad time to be part of the Tig Old Bitty committee, right? Tammy said, amen. And yeah, Maya Varos came in. Hello. How are we doing tonight? I am showing off, the neighbor kids are doing fireworks again. We are showing off the Jazzed Jellies collection from Victorian Varnish. It's going to release at the Polish Beauty Expo, but it will be available on VV's site July 1st at 8 a.m. Central. Tammy says it's pronounced like yeah. Okay, y'all, I said that to read it because she wrote it Yeeauh. Sure, if you say so. All I'm picturing is like Goofy saying this, and that's the noise in my head. I don't know if that's the correct noise, but Slope said cha, and then Chrissy said chia. Okay, maybe I got a little closer there. Nirda said from Moana, Maui says it. See, that was the original noise in my head too, and then when Tammy said it the way she did, then Goofy popped to my head from a Goofy movie. Hello, Jess. How's it going? Slope said, I messed up and swiped out. That's okay. Tammy said, kind of, but it was big in the 80s. Okay, maybe that's why. Y'all, I know a lot of the stuff from the 80s. I wasn't born then, but my mom was a big fan of the 80s, so I do know a lot of the 80s stuff, but that one, maybe that's just why I can't do it, because I wasn't there. Jess said, hey, y'all. Nirda said, oh, LOL. Tammy waved. Carrie, I love how you can transform any polish with a layer of jelly. I agree. Kaylee, I like jelly gradients. We're going to do one tonight. Tammy sent our distorted face. Jess said, hey, Jen. Slope said, hey, Jess. And Melissa said, Keanu Reeves said it. Okay. Again, y'all, don't come for me because I'm sure that is a reference from Ted and I know this name. So please, I know it, but I can't because the ADHD and things are moving too fast right now. But Bill and Ted's Adventure, I know that, but I have not seen it. So please, Bill and Ted, yes. The nudes. Kaylee knew it. Melissa said, I can't remember the name of the movie. And then Kaylee had it. Yes. Please do not come for me because I have never seen it. Please do not come for me. Again, y'all, 90s baby. Melissa said, yes, everyone's saying Bill and Ted, and it is. It's Bill and Ted. We're all correct, but please don't cover me because I've never seen it. Chrissy said, most excellent movie. Yes. And I do know lines from it and all that stuff. I've just never actually sit down and seen it. Kaylee said, I haven't seen it either. Okay, we're in this together then. I feel safe. Kaylee's not going to come for me. Tammy said, excellent adventure. All right. Last but not least, our last one to open here is Gag Me With a Spoon. And it is a bright neon orange jelly. Again, mixing balls. You can see just how sheer these are going to be. But they are all very, very neon. Very, very bright. Tammy is laughing at me. Slope says it's hilarious. At least it was in the 80s. Chrissy said, oh my God, y'all need to watch it. See, I'm afraid to watch it. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Again, We're a safe space here. We are a safe space. We say what we need to say. We do not judge. We do not hate. I know that there's a lot of movies like that everyone says you should watch, and then they don't pan out well when you watch them now. So like me and Kevin have tried to watch Clerks because he absolutely loves Clerks and he quotes Clerks. And I couldn't make it through like 10 minutes of that movie and we turned it off because it just did not age. Like it was boring. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. It just didn't work for me. And I know that there's like tons of 90s, 2000s movies that I love that he's like, why did we watch that? So we do like this thing where like we watch 80s movies that he picks out and I watch 90 movies and we, you know what I mean? We educate each other on it. But sometimes you remember a movie being amazing and then it just doesn't hold up today's standards. Was it amazing then? Yes, definitely. Did we love it? Were there reasons for it? Yes. But nowadays you're like, wait, why did we think this was funny? So like it changes as you change, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying on it there. Let's see. What have I missed? Laura said, I was born in the 80s and she has never seen Bill and Ted's. Got it. Chrissy said, that orange, it's so good, y'all. Tammy said, totally Valley Girl vibes with that orange. Agreed. Jess, I thought y'all were talking about Quaaludes from the 80s. Hard to pronounce. 80s. Now we're talking about Bill and Ted. We were not talking about Quaaludes. Jess, I love you. I love you. I cannot wait to see you in 2 weeks. Slope said it teaches you some history too. I'm always down for history and learning. Kaylee, what's the movie with Mike Myers? It reminds me of Bill and Ted for some reason. That one I don't know. Regina said, are your dogs afraid of the fireworks? Thankfully, no. Waffles actually is the opposite of afraid. He wants to kill them. He wants to attack them. Like he will go to the window, like he's gonna break through it to just beat them up. If he's outside, he runs around and barks at this guy. So they still like affect him. But we've actually noticed this year specifically that he really hasn't been noticing them. Like they'll go off and I'm like waiting for him to get a little agitated. And we do have like CBD dog gummies and stuff. And he really hasn't noticed them. And we're questioning, does he not care anymore? Or is his hearing not as sensitive? He definitely still hears us and he hears general noises. But like right now the kids are literally in the cul-de-sac doing large firecrackers. I can visually see them and hear them, and he's under the desk sleeping. So he also has not been feeling very well. We did go to the vet last week with some stomach issues. So maybe he's just exhausted and doesn't care either. I don't know. It hasn't been as bothersome for him this year. So Slope said Wayne's World. Oh my God, yes, Wayne's World. I love Wayne's World. See, that's a 90s movie though, or a late 80s movie. I grew up with that one and I love Wayne's World. Again, I haven't seen it in years, so if I watched it now, would it be as good as I remember it? Probably not, but yes. Wayne's World till Kaylee said Slopes, thank you. Gracie said party time, excellent. Laura said I hate old movies. I don't think any of them are good anymore. Some of them still are, Laura. They're not all terrible. Chrissy laughed. Kaylee said party time. Excellent. Nicholas Alistair came in. Hello, Nicholas. Welcome, welcome. This is probably a strange time for you to come in because we're just all chatting instead of showing off polish. But we're going to get to that, I promise. Tammy said this is Arlo. Brody not scared, but Chewy is my sweet boy and he's terrified of everything. And Regina said my dogs are terrified. Maple could not care less, y'all. She sleeps through anything all day long, so she doesn't give a crap. And Tammy said SNL. Yes. Okay. We're going to swatch these because that's what we're here for, right? Right. I mean, I know we're really here for this part of it. That's why I do the lives. I love the community. I love the chatting. And it's fun to show you off pretty polishes. But I also know some people only come here to watch the videos. So we are going to get into the swatching portion for those people. Kaylee said, I grew up watching 90s movies in early 2000s. Chrissy said, Laura, with cry faces. And Jess said, we're playing imposter this weekend. And waffles was the word. I totally said Chelsea's dog. My family just looked at me. We don't I want other Chelseas. Wait, what did that was back. That blew my brain, Jess. I can't even decipher that one. We don't know any other Chelseas is probably what that meant. And they were just like, what are you talking about? That's okay. That's okay. But I do love that I was used as a clue. That makes me feel happy. It makes me feel special. You thought of me first to use as a clue. I love this. Okay. I'm going to flip y'all around. We're going to do some PBE information as well as our info form for tonight's video. And we have Victorian Varnish's shopping list. I'm going to put that on the screen for screenshots, anyone who didn't see it in the last live. And then we're going to get into the swatches. So flipping around first, Also, y'all, it is a Sunday, which means it is technically a sip and swatch. Grab your favorite beverage. You know we're going to be here for a while tonight. I am drinking water because I had a few adult beverages yesterday, so being good with my water, but I did put a new flavor in today. We got a white cherry one. Here is tonight's live information. So this is what I'm showing you tonight. The Jazzed Jellies collection. It's 10-piece collection. They'll be $12 each at Polish Beauty Expo, $10 if you buy the full 10-piece set. And then they will be available on Vivi's site July 31st at 8 a.m. Central Time for $110 for the full set, $12 each. So there is a slight discount if you purchase the entire set at the Polish and Beauty Expo. Plus, Tammy is running specials of if you spend more than $50, you get to spin the wheel and you get a $5 off coupon, but you have to just spend like $55 because the $5 discount counts in that and all that stuff. She's got all kinds of good deals, so definitely check those out while you are shopping and creating your shopping list. I'm also going to bring on this is our PBE info. This is literally just the card they sent out to everyone with tickets. We're going to go on sale. This is the information on it. If you would like to also screenshot that, it has the website where you can get more information and the website where you can buy your tickets. So there's that for anyone who wants to screenshot it too. What did I miss in chat? Regina, oh my God, born in the 70s here. I feel old now. You are not old. We are all just as old as we feel, right? So you're great, Regina. You are great. You are in great company here. Celebs laughed at Jess. Kaylee, I would have said, in the morning I'm making waffles. I got you, Kaylee. I knew where you're going. Laura said, Chrissy, I know my husband gives me crap about it all the time. Kaylee is drinking water. Tammy, I have a few changes to make of it, but it will be up Tuesday-ish. Okay. I'm going to put the shopping list on it, but it could change a little bit. Apparently, Tammy's still tweaking stuff. I told you, she's still making things, y'all. She crazy. Slope said, Regina, you're in good company. Me too. 1970 be exact. Jen said 84. Regina said 75. Kaylee said, I need my mom to meet y'all. She would have so much fun. She's 1977. She acts 21. I'm not sure if that was like a positive way to say that, Kaylee, or not. I want my mom to meet you. Y'all, hold on. Okay, hold on. We were at the shop the other day, and one of my employees is 18, and she made the comment of, I have to watch my sugars when I get old, when I'm in like my 30s. And I just looked at her, and I was like, I can't believe you said that. And Kevin was like, I can't believe you just said that. She goes, well, I didn't say I was old yet. And I'm like, no, you just said I'm old. Y'all, they're all babies. They are all babies. This whole chat tonight, they would not understand any of this. I got one girl in her 30s. No, I'm sorry. One girl just turned 30 this year. So I have two girls in her 30s, and they probably still wouldn't get half of these references either. So, Chrissy said it was a positive. It was a positive. Celeb said that's awesome. Chrissy said 82 baby here. Kaylee said it was positive. Chrissy said 82 baby here. I feel 110 but act young-ish. And Tammy, not stuff, just the look of it. I did make another one this afternoon. Okay, cool. So she's not changing things on the shopping list. All right, I'm going to flip you guys back over. But y'all, I'm telling you, when she was just like, when I'm old and, like in my 30s. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, filters. I don't think some kids have filters anymore. Carrie, I work with all babies. They talk about my age like I'm ancient. Right. They're like, were you alive when dinosaurs were around? They kill me. Tammy, I think all of us at VB Booth are Gen Xers. And mine is like two people. Holly joined. Hi, Holly. And Kaylee said, I'm almost 30 and I get them, but it's because I'm just cool like that. You are cool, Kaylee. Okay. Flipping y'all back around. I know. I had to flip that around because y'all, I swear. All right. That was our PBE info sheet. I do have our brand list. This is the current 40 plus vendors who will be at the Polish and Beauty Expo. If you would like to screenshot that, I definitely encourage you to follow the Polish and Beauty Expo Facebook group. Go join it because spoilers and things are being posted in there now. You also, if there are any brands in here you are interested in, I recommend finding their Instagram and their Facebook group so you can see up close spoilers there. Me personally, in the Polish and Beauty group, I am posting like collage pictures and minimal swatches because I don't want to overload the group with stuff, especially like y'all, Tammy has so much stuff. So I don't want to like spam the group. But on my Instagram and in the Victorian Varnishes group, Varnished Victorians, I am posting individual swatches there. So I think like a lot of brands are doing that. So if any of these brands interest you and you want to see what they're bringing, whether you're coming to the show or not, because some of them will have overpours on their sites, you also have that option of getting a fairy to shop the event for you. I highly recommend going and following them on all of their socials so you can see more in-depth swatches. But that is the vendor list. I have one more info thing to show you, and then I promise we're going to do the swatches. Now, Tammy says she has changed the look of this a little bit, so don't become too attached of the full-on look of this, but this is the shopping list for Polish, at least. I do not have one for the apothecary items just yet, but this is our Polish shopping list for the Polish and Beauty Expo. Kayla said, Chels, actually, you're fired. No, you're fired. Regina said, no dinosaur, just typewriters. Kaylee said, Tyler is bringing a whole lunchbox set. I'm so upset. I'm telling you, look for a fairy or keep your eye out for overpours. There are still ways to get these items if you can't attend the show, y'all. All right. Hopefully you screenshotted that because we're gonna get it back off the screen now. It's going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye. I'll bring it back at the end if anybody would like me to. But we're going to get into these swatches because, again, y'all, we have 10 polishes tonight. 10 polishes. Also, while my hands are on the screen, let me zoom you in a little bit because we are ultra zoomed out now. While my hands are on the screen, my right hand is Victorian Varnish's Moon Walking at Tinley. This is one of her 2 doorbuster polishes. They are going to be, I believe, $8 each, $9 each. I lied. That's what the paper says anyways. $9 for this beautiful topper. I do have it over top of the deep blue from the Heavy Metals Volume 2 collection with My Guy's Nails. And I have not written that name down, nor can I quickly find that polish. But I did do it over the like super deep blue. It is matted currently, y'all, and you can still see all the beautiful hollow in this. But this is a doorbuster at Polish and Beauty Expo. And this one I do think is going to sell out. But if there's overpours, again, they'll be on VV's site July 31st. 8 a.m. Central. And then my left hand is one of 3 Drink on My Nails thermals that are coming. This one is Moon-Tini. As I said, it is quite hot in my office. You can kind of see the purpley pink color that it's going to turn. Maybe my hands will cool down. The AC just kicked back on. But this is another PBE polish. Now, thermals, if there are overpours, will not be on the site on that July release day because it's too hot. They will not come out until the fall when temperatures come down. So probably late August, September, ish area timeline for those. But so good. I did show these during the live the other night. So if you want to see these swatched and applied, definitely check out the last Victorian Varnish live. It's the PBE part 2 live I just posted the other night. So let's see. Kaylee, so yeah, go check out the brands. They're so amazing and sweet. I met them last year. Yes, Tyler's Trinkets is amazing. Nerda says, I want the one Tammy made on live. That's a kitchen sink of glitters. Tammy said, in the dead of night. Oh, yes, that's what this blue is. It's in the dead of night. Thank you, Tammy. Kaylee, I think my chat was broken. I thought I was the only one talking. Oh, gosh. I know we had that issue the other night, but I thought it was fixed. Tammy said, that is the PBE mystery topper. This is the PBE. Oh, the one you mixed live the other night. So if you want to see that and the live was saved, Tammy mixed a mystery topper. I didn't even see that one, y'all. I'm very excited. Okay, I'm going to try and fit all these jellies on screen so you can see them all together, and then we're going to start swatching them. Nerda said, yes, I want it. I want to see it too. I'm excited, y'all. Oop, we rolled away there, didn't we? All right, here is these 10 gorgeous neon jellies that I'm going to show tonight. Kayla said, that reminds me from last year at the VV booth. My sister picked up Moonbeam and was like, ooh, pretty. And I said, oh, yeah, and put it in my basket. She still doesn't let me live it down that I stole it, LOL. Well, honestly, Tammy probably would have given it to you. Honestly. Plus, speaking of the fact that you said Moonbeam, this is the Moonbeam color in the hot state. And then we have that beautiful pinky magenta when it's in its cold state. But again, y'all, it's very hot in my office right now. Tammy said, LOL. Okay, so this is these. I swear to you, these in particular are not coming off as bright on camera as they are in real life. These are highlighter colors here, including the green and the orange. But I think those are coming off proper. I think these 3 here, the camera cannot show you just how bright these are. They are so freaking bright. Tammy said, we have 3 new IGP thermals. Yes, those are the ones I showed in the live the other night. This is one of them. Kaylee said it was the last one. Okay. All right. I'm going to get these off screen and we're going to get into swatching. Now, again, I don't have info descriptions for these. So normally I go in order of the list. But because I don't have a list, I'm going to put them in rainbow order, and that's what I'm doing. That's just how we're doing it. Sure, close enough. Okay, I'm going to do them in rainbow order. Again, I am going to swatch them all on individual swatch sticks. I wish I had some clear wheels. I do not anymore. I thought I still had some somewhere from when I used to use clear wheels. I don't. So they are going to be all clear individual sticks for these swatches tonight. And I'm going to do them fully per polish. So we'll do our 1 coats and our 2 coats and our top coat per polish for these so that you can see them. Or maybe we'll do top coat at the end. I think we'll do top coat at the end. I don't know. It depends how fast they dry. I guess we'll figure that out as we go. If they dry really quickly, then I'll go ahead and top coat per polish. If not, we may do the top coat at the end. But I do want to show you, because they're going to dry to a satin matte, I want to show you what they are like glossy as well. Tammy laughed. Kaylee said, but to be fair, she found a pair of the VV Kraken earrings. Chrissy cried and laughed. And Tammy said, nice. Okay. All right. So we are going to do Rad Ride first. And it is a red jelly. Again, these are all neon jellies. Also, again, I don't have actual descriptions. So these are self-described, but again, y'all, we're a single color. Like there's not a whole lot to describe here. So red, neon red jelly, Rad Ride. I do think we need to zoom in quite a bit more here. And we're going to do our first coats. Tammy said, once they are matte, they're good. Okay, so we were going to find out together how quickly these things matte. And Kaylee said, it's red. Yes, it is. It is bright red. All right, again, jellies. So we're not looking for full opacity. And I specifically wanted to do these on clear sticks so you could see the opacity. So first coat going on. I got stuck to our distorted face emoji. All right. I don't know if y'all heard those, but there's more fireworks. Here is our first coat. I don't know if you guys saw how well that self-leveled. Beautifully glossy. We can also see opacity. You know what? Let's use our deep blue nail here. So again, these are jellies. We are not looking for opacity. We are just seeing what they look like. It's very weird to not, like, I feel like my hand has to be there to focus, but it feels weird because you're not seeing the, like, opacity level because of that. Michelle is here. Hello, Michelle. Tammy says, all red. Kaylee said, I got you. I'll describe them. And she sent our distorted face emoji. Tammy said, bitches to make, though. Those take me a while. Slope said, Tammy, your storm just got here. Tammy said, smooth. It is very smooth. And y'all look at it, did already dry. We're already pretty much a satiny matte. So I think we're going to top coat per polish as well for screenshots. Holly said, will these be available at PBE? Yes, these are releasing at PBE, but they will be available on Victorian Varnish's site July 31st at 8 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you mark that down that it is 8 a.m. Here it is. You know what? I don't like that it's not focusing. So I'm just going to grab my Post-its here so you can see it with a white background. See that opacity a little bit more. Tammy says, yes. Michelle said, hey, everyone. And Kaylee said, Tammy, RGB plus butterball polish. All right, I'm going to do a second coat on the tip. Again, y'all, I am going to go through these fully individually. So we're going to finish each polish tonight. And I'm only going to do 2 coats. Tammy did suggest building them up in 3 for swatches, but I'm going to do 2 coats during the live. Otherwise, we will be here for 17 hours. So here is our second coat. Opacity check. I like using the dark nail, y'all. Look at the difference that second coat really made. So they definitely build up juicy. I think 3 coats would get you to a juicy, pretty much opaque. Slopes said, hey, Michelle. Michelle says hi to Slopes. Jen waved to Michelle. Let's show it with the white background here again so you can see that opacity. I mean, you can see the way the words show through them. So we definitely are building opacity. I think the third coat would be opaque and give you that juicy jelly vibe. So if you're looking for fully opaque, Tammy said juice. Yes, these are juicy, and we are almost fully dry. So I'm going to give you a label shot of it without our glossy top coat, and then I am going to top coat half the stick so you can see how they dry versus top coated. Again, these are wear ready, so they dry to a satin finish, and you can walk out the door with them as is. If you want them shiny, you can add a coat of Vivi's Illuminate Glossy Top Coat to make them shine. It is totally up to you. Kaylee said, what makes them mattified? That's a great question. I would assume it has something to do with the pigments and the jelly base, but I don't know. I do know her jellies last year were also matte like that. So, all right, I'm going to grab our Illuminate, and I'm just going to coat half the swatch stick. So again, you can compare it. I will also give you another label shot once we do that. If Instagram would focus here, there we go. All right, I'm literally just gonna do one side here. It's not the cleanest line I've ever done, but here, excuse me. Here it is. Sorry, y'all, they're doing fireworks again, and it is definitely distracting me. It's also like 7 o'clock and bright daylight out, so I don't understand why we're doing fireworks right now, but you know. So definitely a difference in dry down versus glossy. They are, ooh, we got polish on. It's alive now. But they are very, very juicy with that Illuminate. I'm going to grab the Post-it again. So our opacity levels, you can see 2 and 3. Very juicy cherry red shade. Tammy said, that's my secret, Kaylee. I've never seen that in a polish, so I made them like that. You can also use them like watercolors. Yes, you can. You can use them to reverse color if you want a stained glass effect, or on top of your stamping. And like I said, we're going to play around with them a little bit tonight too. Kaylee said, wait, huh? Celeb said she's a magician. Yes, it is a secret. It is a Victorian Varnish secret. She cannot tell you how they become matte. Holly said, I need them. Yes, if you're a jelly fan, y'all, this collection is so good. That's Illuminate. No one wants to screen. Well, I mean, maybe you want to screenshot Illuminate, but that's not what we're doing here. Here is your Rad Ride in one coat at the base, 2 coat at the tip, and then glossy and matte. Y'all, this could get a little complicated with all the screenshots, but hopefully you get what you need. Tammy said, never this formula in any world. I did it last year and decided to do it like this. Kaylee said it's a nart day. And Tammy said the level factor is nuts. It's so smooth. They are very, very smooth. All right, so that's Rad Ride. I'm going to put that way over off my desk on the other side, so maybe I won't stick my arm in it. I will bring them all back at the end so everyone can take pretty pictures with everything together. But Kaylee, I want my AC back so I can have fun painting my nails again. Oh, Kaylee, I so feel for you. Michelle said that looks pretty pigmented. Yeah, I mean, for a jelly, we definitely get the thin jelly vibe on that first coat. You get a little bit more opacity on the second. So I think a third would be opaque, but still give you the juicy jelly vibe. So it's squishy and fun. Yeah, beautiful. Her jellies last year were very much the same formula as that. So I do expect these to be pretty opaque on 3, but still have that fun squishy we all want from a jelly. Next is Bodacious. This is the one I'm calling a Rorange. They are very, very much neon as well. Carrie said, I'm feeding my dog, so I'm not saying much, but just want to pop in and say I love that one. Thank you for popping in, Carrie, and enjoy all your puppy love. I hope that they appreciate you and all your feeding schedules with them. All right, let's do our first coat here of Bodacious. Hello, Miss Crizzy. Welcome in. I am showing off Victorian Varnish's Jazzed Jellies collection. It's a 10-piece neon jelly set coming to the Polish Beauty Expo on July 19th. They will be available after the show on Victorian Varnish's website, July 31st at 8 a.m. Central Time. I am just now on the second polish here. This is Bodacious. It is a neon orange. opacity on that first coat. You can see we're got a little coverage, but we are very much juicy jelly, and it is already starting to mattify a little bit. These are pretty quick drying. Let me grab the Post-it here so you can see it with a white backer. Again, with those words, you can see that opacity. And we are going to do a second coat on the tip like we have been, so you can see that build up. Kaylee said, I wish I could send gifts in the chat. I agree. Unfortunately, that's like a Twitch thing, and y'all, I have even tried like watching people on Twitch, and it is so freaking confusing to me. So that's a road I am not even looking at. All right, second coat of Bodacious on the tip here, so we can see the opacity difference. Definitely made a difference here. I don't know why I always do my middle nail, so it's such a habit, but I really want that like dark contrast. But you can definitely see she builds up very well. Again, I think 3 coats would definitely be opaque. How many times can I say the word definitely tonight? Here is with our Post-its. So again, opacity difference. You can see those words through it. Definitely builds up. Hello, Edney. Welcome. I am showing off Victorian Varnish's Jazzed Jellies. This one right here is Bodacious. We did 1 coat here at the top and a second coat on the tip to see the difference in opacity. They do dry to a satin finish. So we are also topping them with Illuminate top coat to show them shiny. Let me get you a label shot of your first and second coats here of Bodacious before we do that top coat. So here it is matted. It's almost completely dry, y'all. So you've got your 1 coat. I'm going to cover up the Jazz Jelly so you can have that white backer. I don't know if that's better for your screenshots or not. But you've got 1 coat at the base, 2 coats on the tip half. Tammy sent heart eyes. Holly said, thank you for your lives, Chelsea. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, Holly. I love getting to spend time and chat with y'all. It's been very weird the last few days not doing a live. And I actually had the intentions of doing this live last week on Friday, or I guess we're still in that week anyways. But then with Waffles' stomach issues and then getting to hang out with Christina, and I will not lie, y'all, I was just exhausted Friday night. Again, Waffles' stuff was very unexpected. We did not have a lot of sleep or warning of anything, so I was dead tired Friday night. And then of course yesterday we had the 4th celebration, so that is why we're doing it tonight. Kaylee said, Holly, hey girl, I didn't see you pop in. And Holly said, hey Kaylee. And we're going to do our coat of Illuminate here. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more to the side, so when we do that label shot at the end, you have kind of more of a 50-50. I felt like I was more like 60-40 earlier. And there she is. So you've got the dried side. It dried to a satin finish, and then here it is juicy glossed up. Hopeless for Flowers just came in. I'm going to assume your name is Hope. Do we have a government name listed? It is. Welcome in, Hope. Michelle said, is Waffles okay? He is okay. He had something upset his stomach. We're still not sure what did it, but he had a pretty rough day of some not so solid things, we'll say. And then unfortunately we found some blood, so we took him to the vet immediately next morning. Thankfully, y'all, Carrie, I was able to message her and she made me feel better about it, at least for waiting that night. And then we were able to take him to the vet the next morning, but he had a sleepless night of going outside about every 30 to 40 minutes. And then I was out with him making sure everything was as okay as it could be. So he is okay. He was a little dehydrated. They gave him some fluids and some antibiotics, and he's just on like some really bland food for a few days, but he's already been doing better since then. So, and actually when we got home, y'all, it was like it didn't happen. Like he didn't care, which is always what happens when you go to the vet and spend a bunch of money and then it's like they're fine. Again, very beautiful. You could see the difference between 1 coat and 2 coats. So 3 coats I think would be opaque, and then juicy and matte. So whichever you prefer. Y'all, I'm a big matte mani lover. So they are definitely drawing me in with that satin. Let me get you a label shot here. Haley says it's giving like popsicle. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. All right, here's your label shot. Again, 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the end, and then matte versus shiny. Hopefully that's coming up on camera for screenshots if you choose to screenshot. Michelle sent a bunch of hearts. Carrie sent hearts. Yes, y'all, I messaged Carrie at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, I don't even know if you're awake, but like, I don't know what to do. And she just made me feel so much better about the situation. And then when we did get to the vet, they pretty much said the exact same thing. So I really, really appreciate you, Carrie, and helping me feel so much better that night. Michelle said that's tough. They are babies. They really are. And I looked at him. I was like, do you want to go to the vet? Hoping he would like give me anything. And he was just like, I just need to poop. So of course that wasn't helpful. But yeah, he's doing totally fine, totally back to normal. Actually tonight we're going to start putting back some of his regular food in with his bland stuff, and just building him back up to normal. Jessica Chelsea, are you wearing Moonbeam? I'm just now not driving and able to actually look. Listen, I am not. I'm technically wearing Moon-Tini. So this is the hot version, or the hot state, which looks like a Moonbeam. And then of course it goes to that, y'all. Hold on. It is so hot in my office, but I do have water. I'm straight up dipping my hand in my water cup right now. Here it is in its cold state. That beautiful like purpley fuchsia color in its cold state. And you can see I'm already going back to hot instantly. So this is Moon-Tini from their thermals, also coming to PBE. Carrie said, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help. I really, really appreciate you, Carrie. Okay, that's 2 jellies down. 8 more to go, y'all. We can do this. We got this. So our next one is Gag Me with a Spoon. And this one is a neon orange. Jess said, OMG, you saw this live. Well, actually, I think you had to leave early the other night, Jess. This was in the part 2 live I did the other night. There are 3 gorgeous, gorgeous thermals coming to the show as well. All right, Gag Me with a Spoon. Let me get a clear swatch stick here. We'll get the Post-its out of the way for a second. And we're going to do our first coat here. Maybe if I can get the bottle open. There we go. I didn't untwist it enough. All right, first coat. Day Glow freaking neon orange, y'all. So bright. Again, I don't feel like it's coming off as bright as it is in person. The camera just cannot handle this one. Just said, oh, I saw it. I guess I didn't realize that it's legit is Moonbeam and it's worth to say. Yeah, everyone kept going, it's like Moonbeam. It's like Moonbeam. And I'm like, y'all, do you think I remember Moonbeam? I mean, don't get me wrong. Moonbeam is a gorgeous polish. It is on my wall. It went in the keep pile of stuff. It is on the wall. But I can't remember what I ate for dinner last night. I can't remember a polish I swatched a year ago. So I was like, I don't know what color that is. And then when I did it, I'm like, oh, that's Moonbeam. So yes, if you love Moonbeam the polish, this is the hot state is Moonbeam's color. And then that cool state is that fuchsia, which is almost already gone. Just because my hands are so stinking hot right now. But yes. Kaylee said, oh yeah, that's the orange. It's so bright, y'all. It's so bright. Tammy sent our distorted face emoji. All right. Opacity check. We're putting it over that beautiful dark blue from the Heavy Metals Part 2 collection with My Guys Nails. So it's pretty gosh darn opaque on 1 coat. If you like, you could obviously clean your brush off a little bit more. But she's decently opaque. I mean, again, opaque for a jelly. Please remember these are jellies. So when I say the word opaque, I never mean it's going to be not light through, like it's going to be solid. Like they are still jellies, but like it's blocking pretty much. Tammy said, love it. Chrissy said, or GERD, and she hates jellies. But again, Chrissy, put these over a white base. Use it over any of Vivi's Shimmer Sweets to get those like beautiful pearlescent shimmer vibes underneath it. Let me get the Post-it out. So again, we can see opacity. Yeah, this one is definitely more opaque than the other 2 have been on the first coat. You can't really see that P as much. Let's do a second coat on the tip so we can compare first and second. Oop, I got fuzzy. We're gonna just, can I get it off or can we just ignore it? Okay, well, I know I can't ignore it, but like, can I get it off or do I have to ignore it? I got it off. Okay. I don't think y'all saw any of that because I was not on camera. Christina said it's only 72 here today. I want to come back to 95. We dropped to like 72, 74 last night, Christina, after some storms we had. It was so cold. I was in a blanket watching the fireworks. All right. Second coat, y'all. Second coat feels pretty opaque. This is what I expect third coats of the red and the orange we did already. So like, I can't even imagine doing a third coat of this one because that second coat is pretty much there. Chrissy said, I had to talk to a girl at work and missed a bunch. LOI, I want that orange. I don't think you... Well, this is the third one, so I don't think you really missed that much. We had the red, which I will bring these back at the end, y'all, because we are going to be doing a black light test as well. So, all right. Again, that's our second coat. It feels pretty opaque. Let's get the Post-its here. The Post-it is our new opacity check for tonight, apparently. Christina said, hey, Jess. Jess said, hi, Christina. Christina said, and we lost our sun privileges. It was a cloudy all day. Oh, no, Christina. That sounds like the worst case scenario to come back from vacation. Laura said, Christina, where are you now? It's so hot here. Tammy said, shh, we're 87. I don't know what we actually turned up to today. It was chilly this morning when I was out swatching, but I don't know what it actually ended up fully being. I did not go outside today, besides swatch pictures. Like I have stayed in the house. I have edited. I have swatched. It was a stay home day. So here is your label shot of Gag Me With a Spoon. 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip. Michelle said, Chrissy, you love visible nail line, right? I keep telling her, put them over the Shimmer Sweets. You'll love them. Christina, we're back home. Laura said, bummer. Kayla said, I'm ready for fall, guys. Nope. Y'all, I've been in my pool twice. We are not talking about fall yet. Take it back, Kaylee. Take it back. You're just mad because you don't have AC right now. And as soon as you do, you'll be grateful for it again. Don't be putting that juju on me. No. I need to use my pool. I spent a lot of money and time on that patio to not be able to use my pool. Jess said, I hope summer never, ever, ever ends. Well, that's why you live in Florida. All right. I am going to do our illuminate on the one side again. Michelle said they look cool matte. They really do. Again, they dry to that satin finish. Ooh, y'all, I did a really bad job 50-50 at that time and being on screen. But they do dry to that satin matte finish and they are wearable like that. You can walk out of the house, but you can add a coat of illuminate and make them glossy and juicy. Y'all, I did a really bad job. We're like pushing 80-20 on that split on that one. I'm sorry. Chrissy, love Michelle, hush, yuck. LOL, Michelle, hush, yuck. Kaylee, but I got a sunburn. Well, put on sunscreen. I spent 2 hours in the pool yesterday. I didn't get a sunburn. You gotta wear your sunscreen. Protect yourself. Chrissy said, fall can't come soon enough. Nope. I want it all. Jess said, LO, I wish I lived in Florida. Why did I think you lived in Florida, Jess? Jen said, so I guess I shouldn't say that my fave is winter. We know you love your winter, Jen, but you're allergic to the sun. That's different. You can't have it. Christina said, Jess, we skirted through Arkansas on our way up to Chelsea from Tammy's, but your city was like 3 hours from where we were. All right, here's an opacity. I don't know why I'm doing it with the shiny because, like, does it really matter? But here it is, opacity check. 2 coats, 1 coat, shiny, matte. Chrissy said, I was not built for this summer. Kaylee, okay, fine, but, like, can the heat calm down, like max of 80? All right, I'll give you... Can we have 85? Because it's too cold for me to swim if it's 80. I need, like, 80 is barely shorts for me. All right. Why, y'all, I keep trying to give you a screenshot of Illuminate. I mean, here it is. Do you want a screenshot of Illuminate? Maybe if I just let you do it, my brain will stop trying to do it. I don't know why I keep doing that. All right. Here it is. Again, y'all, I did a horrible job of getting glossy and matte. So I'm going to have to angle it a bit here. Okay, angle swatch wheel, keep polish. There we go. Gag Me With a Spoon. 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip. Shiny versus matte. Jess said, I hope you got to see a pretty part of Arkansas. Next time, come all the way down. Kaylee said, I'm a ghost, pale girl. I need like 1,000 SPF. Jen said, no, I'm allergic to cold. It's ironic because I'm holed up for my favorite season. Oh, I thought you were allergic to the sun. Girl, my brain. Kaylee said, girl, 80 is cold. It is for me. Y'all, I'm always in a blanket. Literally this whole week we've been like 106, 110, and I'm still sitting in my house in a blanket with my AC at 77. Like, I'm always cold, and I hate the cold. All right, that was Gag Me With a Spoon. Next is Bogus, and it's our beautiful highlighter yellow here. Y'all, it's so bright. I'm definitely excited to see the consistency of this one because they're so hard to tell in the bottle. And I think this one's going to be the most drastic out of the bottle as far as like being clear or see-through if you want. I just said same. Do you have Reynolds? I have no idea. I'm just always cold. Carrie said, I had my winter coat out today in the 70s. Jen said, being allergic to a whole season effing sucks. Kaylee, are you secretly a lizard? And Christina said, I'm with Chelsea. I can't do shorts until it hits 90. 70 or under requires my winter coat. Yeah, I can't. I need it to be hot, y'all. Like, 80 is like, all right, I'm going to wear shorts, but maybe I should actually wear capris. It definitely has to be consistently over 80s to take the doors off the Jeep. And even then, I keep jeans, a jacket, and socks in the Jeep. So if we get stuck out at night, I can put more clothing on. All right, you know what, y'all? I am pleasantly surprised with that first coat opacity. I really thought this was going to be like water thin, but it's not bad on that first coat, and it is so neon. I think the camera is capturing the neon better out of the bottle. Look at how quickly it's matting too. Like, it's drying so freaking fast. Chrissy, I get hives when it's too hot, and especially when I'm out in the sun too long, I burn like a mofo. So I actually have I get like heat rash if it's too hot like that, and I have to keep like baby powder on hand. So if I sweat outside, I will get a heat rash. So I totally see where you're coming from with that, Chrissy. With all the sunscreen applications, you still burn. Yeah. Tammy said, nope, it's that yellow. It's so bright and so good. It is very bright. Anya's here. Hello, Anya. How are you doing? Let me do the opacity post-it check here. Again, you can see I'm pleasantly surprised. I really thought this was going to be a lot thinner on that first coat, being a neon yellow. Michelle said, Chrissy, I've gotten headaches from heat since I was a kid. I wear hats, must be in shade. Jess said, it's 84 today, the coolest it's been all day. I'm enjoying sitting on the porch, but I'm wearing a big old sweatshirt. Jen, I need to be in the heated pool. I live in Connecticut, but the beach is off limits. I can't eat tons of cold stuff. My lungs freeze up. Oh my gosh, Jen. And Michelle said, Jess, what, a sweatshirt? Yeah, I probably wouldn't be in a sweatshirt at that temperature. But I definitely would probably be like in a t-shirt and shorts instead of a tank top. Kaylee, I prefer cold because I can add more clothes, but you can only take so many off before the cops are involved. True. Let's do a second coat here, y'all, of Bogus. Chrissy's, Kaylee, you know what's up. And we had our distorted face emoji pop up, and Tammy sent some cool sunglasses. All right, second coat of Bogus going on the tip half, because I really like bottom half. I don't really know what the word is there. Again, y'all, look at that opacity on 2. If you're looking for opacity and still juicy, I think this one's going to need a third, but I am so pleasantly surprised by the second. Like, it's beautiful. Pretty darn good for a neon yellow. Here's your posted opacity check. So again, letters disappearing, showing up, all that jazz. Chrissy said, some people make money like that, but not me. Jess said, Kaylee, more than nails will be nude. All right, let me get you a label shot. 1 coat of Bogus at the base, 2 coats at the tip. Chrissy laughed. Yeah, y'all, I would much rather deal with the heat than the cold. I hate being cold. Absolutely hate it. I got one of those sauna personal things that you like sit on a chair in, and I cannot wait for when it's cold and I can just live in that thing. All right, let's grab our Illuminate and why am I showing a picture of the label? Y'all, I swear, I just want you to buy Illuminate. That's what it is. I'm trying to get you to buy more top coat. Here's your reminder that if you need top coat, Illuminate's amazing. Again, I'm going to do half of it. We're a little shiny still, but y'all, we ain't waiting. I'm not waiting. I can totally do one half of a swatch stick. Which again, I wasn't super on screen, but I did better on getting half and half. There's that juicy jelly vibe versus the beautiful satin stained glass. Oops. Pushing buttons here. Tammy said, Jessica, is that the kind of yellow you wanted? Jess said, yes. Kaylee said, Chelsea would rather run around naked. I mean, I could put on a swimsuit and use a hose. That's all we're saying. Jess says, I want it now. Also, y'all, I just really don't get that hot. Like, we'll be outside and people are like, oh, I'm dying. And I'm like, I think it's actually okay. It's not until the humidity gets high. When it's humid as heck and you're like sweating and the sweat can't cool you off because it's so humid, that's when I get frustrated. Which last week we had a couple days like that, but we had like some evenings and mornings that people are still complaining. I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice. I could just sit out here. All right, here's your shiny versus your matte. You can see it a little bit better now with that post-it behind it. Michelle laughed at Kaylee. Just said, I want it now in a Skittle with that moonwalking that I'm gonna have to throw up my dukes if needed to get. And Tammy laughed. Jen said, it is freaking top coat. It is a great freaking top coat, y'all. It is my go-to top coat. If I'm not using a brand specific top coat, I do reach for my Illuminate and my Glisten and Glow top coat. Those are my most used top coats. Kaylee said, I'm a lizard. Well, I got a shocked face and a pointing emoji. Here's your label shot of Bogus. 2 coats with, or 1 coat and 2 coats, and then matte versus shiny there. Again, I'm not even sure if that's really coming through on camera for your screenshots, but I am doing my best. Perfect. Next, we're going into one of the 2 beautiful greens. Y'all, I'm so happy we have 2 greens tonight. This one is Wicked Cool, and it is a neon green. So bright. Again, I'm very excited to see this out of the bottle. The yellow surprised me on its opacity level. Let's see what happens with this neon green. Oh, apparently Waffles left and just came back. Hello, Smush Boy. All right. First coat. Nearda says, it's my favorite top coat. I've used a lot of top coats. Same. I have tried so many different brands. And again, I do keep brands with brands. So if I'm doing swatches and I have their top coat, I do A, let you know I'm using it, and B, I always use it so you know what their stuff performs together like. But if I am not using a brand specific, I reach for my Illuminate more often than not. Here is that first coat. And once again, I am surprised. Why did I go for my pinky? I'm surprised by that opacity of such a neon jelly. Like, it's not bad. It is very, very bright. Let me get the post-its here for the opacity check. Yeah, like it's fairly like, that's giving me frosted glass vibes. Like, you know when you put up a privacy tent on your windows, so you're like, I can still see out, but people can't really see in. It's just like a blob. If you walked past it naked, people would just be like, oh, there's a person, but they wouldn't see all your bits. That's what this feels like. Not that I would know anything about that, y'all. Not at all. I wouldn't have any clues here. Yeah. It's a beautiful bright neon green though. Kayla said, I haven't tried it because I like scented ones, but like the bottles are huge. I probably should have grabbed one with my magnet. That slime green, like Nickelodeon. Yes, it is. And yeah, you definitely should try Lemonade. I'm with you. I use scented top coat as well for my personal manis, but swatches. And the scented top coat is really just a me thing, y'all. I just really like having scented top coat and walking up to people and like smell my nails. But Illuminate is just such a good top coat, and it is so quick drying, y'all. I have not had any other top coat beside Glisten and Glows that dries as fast as that. Here is that second coat, and it is even more Nickelodeon slime on that second coat. Especially being a jelly, it does definitely give slime vibes here. Beautiful. Opacity check. 1, 2 coats. Pretty close there. Tammy sent some cool sunglasses, people. Every time it's literally, I think it's called the cool emoji. If you type cool in your emojis, that's the emoji that comes up. Christina, I'm back. Just in time for the perfect slime green, isn't it? There's your 2 coats versus 3 coat opacity check. 2 coats. Sorry. 1 coat versus 2 coats. Michelle says, Kaylee, you can't do that on television. Michelle laughed. Christina, oh my gosh. Yes, Michelle. Beautiful. All right, let me give you label shots. All right. 2 coats versus 1 coat here for Wicked Cool. Michelle said, Chrissy, I loved that show when I was a kid. And Kaylee said, I don't get that reference. Chrissy, I'm old. I get the reference. That was one of my favorites. Love it. All right, let's do our Illuminate shiny versus matte here. Y'all, this is so bright. It is coming off better on camera than it did in bottle, but like it is so stinking bright. If you put a highlighter in a jelly base, this is what it is. All right, am I on camera this time? Yay. It's not focusing, but that's an Instagram problem. But at least I'm on camera and I'm doing better on the 50-50 here. Ooh, look at how slimy it got with that shiny. The satin is still beautiful. Again, y'all, you know I love a matte mani, but look at that glossy green. Michelle, even the name Wicked Cool. Kids don't say wicked anymore. They do not. And I hear it in Mark Wahlberg's New Jersey accent there. It's so good, y'all. So far, I really have been 50-50 on shiny versus matte, but I like this one glossy. I do. Look at how juicy it is. Yes. Fantastic. I will get a label shot. Again, I grabbed Illuminate to give you a label shot, y'all. The Boston accent. Yeah. You are right, Jen. You are right. But that's exactly what I hear it in. It's Mark Wahlberg is saying Wicked Cool right now. And y'all, I cannot do accents. I can't. I don't even attempt them because I know I am so bad at accents. So we're just not even trying it. But if you don't hear that sound or the way he says it, then you probably don't have ADHD. Y'all, I cannot get this to sit still. Here it is. You've got one coat at the tip, one coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip, matte versus shiny. Tammy said, nope. But back in my day, Michelle said, yes, I thought Wicked was a New England thing, but I could be wrong. Chrissy, my 19-year-old is very 80s coded. She grew up watching my stuff. She loved Popples. Remember them? Actually, Glisten and Glow did a Popple-themed polish for Polish Pickup 2 falls ago, I think. Jen said, I think it is a New England thing, Michelle. We definitely said, well, I said Wicked, but I don't know that, that it's a Midwest thing. I can't contribute. Cannot tell you that one or not. Y'all, I'm going to grab a drink really quickly after I put my lid back on, because, again, we did just dip my whole ass hand in it. Here's your reminder to grab a drink and hydrate. And we are halfway through these polishes. Next is Gnarly. Chrissy said, back in my day, and sent a grandma emoji. Jen said, oh my goodness, Popples. Michelle said, Chrissy, I don't remember Popples. And Chrissy said, Wuzzles were great too. This is another green jelly, but it's a blue tone green. It's got a little bit of cooler blue in it to me. Michelle said, I don't remember that either. Let's get it on our swatch stick here. Not Michelle, Melissa. I always do that to you, Melissa. Melissa said Wicked was definitely a 70s, 80s thing in New England. All right, first coat of Gnarly. That was gnarly, dude. See, no accents, y'all. I can't do them. But you know what I was trying to do. First coat. Tammy says teal. I think it's got a little bit more green in it than teal too. Y'all, it's just a very unique shade. It's very cool. I didn't mean it, well, cool tone, but it's very interesting. Tammy says, I remember Popples. Jen said, Chrissy, I should have it. Oh, Chrissy said, I saw Popples G&G in a D-stash and didn't grab it, and I regret it. Here it is opacity-wise. I think this one's fairly thin on that first one. We've had some decent opaque lately on that first coat. This one feels a little bit thinner, but definitely self-leveled. Absolutely beautiful. Grab the Post-its for that opacity check. Again, you can see that we are already getting close to that satin matte dry. Michelle said, I named Michelle, and the names Michelle and Melissa always get mixed up. I've been called Melissa a million times. I don't mean to. It's also, it's not hard, but Melissa doesn't have, like her name and her handle at all. So it's my brain remembering it. Plus you were just above her. I tried really hard not to mix you guys up, but sometimes Chrissy and Kaylee just talk to each other, and then I'm trying to read their name and read the handle they're tagging, and that just messes my brain all together, y'all. But this is super pretty. Tammy said, sure. I don't know what the show was. She sent some young people and old people emojis. Chrissy said, thank you, Tammy. Sheesh, these whippersnappers. Chrissy, I always used to get called Rachel, like all throughout my life, because Rachel is so close to Crystal. Oh, yes. See, and I always go off of Chrissy because that's your handle. I didn't not think your name was Crystal, but I never thought to think that your name wasn't just Chrissy. Actually, I figured Chrissy was short for Kristen. I don't know. Y'all, my brain just doesn't function. I just read your handles or whatever you put in your bio. Or what you tell me to call you. Because sometimes y'all want a whole different name. And that's your choice. Alright, I have this weird blob on here. I'm not sure where it came from. I don't know if you guys can even see it. It's like a little bitty spot of something there. But that is a me problem, not a Tammy problem. So ignore it. Melissa says, it's all good. The fact that you make the effort matters. Well, I appreciate that, but I also don't want to get your name wrong. And I try so hard. I truly think that one was just because Michelle was right above you, and I was, like, looking at her while saying it. Do you guys ever, like, look at things? Well, I do it all the time. I read here all the time. So I will read your guys' stuff while I'm trying to say something else, but my brain reads the thing instead of saying the thing. So I was looking at Michelle and knew it was Michelle, but then I was trying to say Melissa, and it just, you know, we try here. Chrissy said, like, am I that unmemorable? Right? Yeah. I don't know why they would... Rachel, I don't even know where that comes from. All right. 1 coat versus 2 coats. Again, really builds up beautifully. And self-levels beautifully. Chrissy said, no, I prefer Chrissy anyways. All good. Michelle said... Melissa, exactly, Michelle. Trying to confuse me more. Carrie, oh, sorry, I think I said Christy earlier instead of Chrissy. Chrissy said, but, like, I can be Rachel and April, too. I don't give a fuck. I mean, as long as you're polite to me, you guys can call me what you want. Like, as long as you're not being mean, whatever. Names are names. I like the hey you, as long as there's an effort to get my attention. All right, here's your screenshot. 1 coat at the tip, 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip. I don't know why I keep messing that up now. I think it's because these are rounded. So, like, this feels like a tip to me, and this feels like a base. And, you know, on a normal wheel, I don't know, y'all. But here's your screenshot. Lovely. And then we're going to do our, did I do a post-it check? I don't know if we did a post-it check. Y'all, I feel like we're extra willy-nilly tonight. Ooh, look at, y'all, she pretty darn opaque on that second coat. Michelle said, sorry, Chelsea, no, you're not. No, you're not. And that's okay. Tammy said, almost a minty vibe. Okay, yeah, I can get by with minty. I can see the minty vibe. Chrissy said, I've been called much worse. And just the tip. Always just the tip. All right, now the Illuminate top coat on half of it here. All right, again, I did better at the 50-50, but I did bad at being on screen. Look at how juicy she is. Y'all, my hand is a hot mess. I'm going to try and cover it up so it's not as distracting. Hopefully it doesn't trigger anyone there because it's coated with crap. It's part of doing the individual swatch sticks. It definitely makes more of a mess. But beautifully glossy versus that gorgeous satin matte. And again, with the opacity vibes. So pretty. It's like almost jade colored. Totally did the wrong side of the post-it. I mean, now you guys see my post-it. I don't even know what's written on this one right now. This is from Tammy's last live, reminding me of her shirt prices, and the apothecary list hasn't come out yet and all that stuff. So at least it still, applies to this one. But here it is, opacity again. Chrissy said it is very minty, and Tammy sent heart eyes. Coming in again with the label shot. Not of Illuminate. Y'all, I keep moving stuff around. Illuminate's like the closest thing I can grab. I think that's why I'm doing it. All right, here is your 1 coat versus 2 coats, shiny versus matte of Gnarly. I also feel like this one has been the best to come across on camera. Gorgeous. Next up is our beautiful blue. This is Funky Fresh, and it is very much a cobalt blue. It is also neon. Again, we will try and do black light at the end so we can see these glow, or how they react to the black light at least. Clear swatch stick. And first coat going on. I do expect this one to be a little bit more on the opaque side. Ooh, look at how neon that is. It's way brighter out of the bottle. Way brighter out of the bottle. And it's on my hand now. I'm just going to have every color on my finger. Again, I'm hoping that that's not bothering anybody. I know it's a hot mess. Tammy said, because blue, my heart. It's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful shade of blue. Opacity over our dark polish. Again, pleasantly surprised. I expected this to be more opaque, so I'm glad that it still has the very see-through jelly vibe on that first coat. Let's get our Post-it for opacity here. I mean, again, it's fairly opaque, but like it still has the jelly vibe. You can still definitely see through it. It's not as opaque as, say, that the red was on that first coat. But still, you can very much see the letters through it. All right, let's do the second coat on the tip. See the buildability here. I do expect all of these to be opaque, mostly as a jelly goes, in 2 or 3 coats, depending on how much they build, but still have that see-through jelly vibe. Let's see. Melissa said, what polish is on your left hand? So my left hand, ooh, there's a little bit of the transition still. The tips are a little bit cold still. This is Moon-Tini from Victorian Varnish, coming to the Polish and Beauty Expo. It is one of 3 thermals that they have created this year. It is this beautiful polish color. It's the same shade as the Moonbeam polish they released last year. And then it's got a beautiful fuchsia in its cool state. I showed it in my live, this part 2 that we did on, was that Wednesday night, I believe? Do we need a Post-it polish now? I mean, I'm down with a Post-it polish. All right, here's your opacity check, 1 versus 2. I mean, y'all, it's pretty opaque on that second. Again, as opaque as jellies go, it's pretty good. Like, so you get that full opacity, but still the juicy vibes we all love. Chrissy said, oh, baby tip. All right, here is, if I can pick it up, my goodness. Here's your label shot. 1 coat versus 2 coats of Funky Fresh. Yeah, I did shorten my nails again the other day. I know it may not totally look like it, but it's just my hands are so hot. Like, there's a decent amount of tip there to show off the color. My hands are just so hot right now with all of the lights I have going on in here. All right, let's grab that Illuminate and do our half and half. I don't know why I closed it so tight. All right, can I be on screen for it this time? There we go. All right. I'll take it. Again, I love the satin. It's beautiful. And then just how juicy that Illuminate makes it. Michelle said, I'm usually a shiny top coat girl, but I'm digging the matte look lately. Me too. I am a big matte lover. That is one of the biggest reasons I do matte swatches, y'all. Here's your post-it check. It's because I love matte, and half the time it's a matte shot that sells me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a pretty polish. And then I see it matte. I'm like, ooh, add to cart. So that is the biggest reason I do matte swatch shots of every polish, because I personally love matte. I try to do my lives and my swatches from what I want to see. As a collector, I want to see, what does this look like in your crappy kitchen lighting, because we don't all walk around with an arch light tied to our hands all day long. I want to see, does it actually transition well? I started doing the lives because I wanted to show how they actually apply. Like, I want you to see, and not like, if I struggled with it, you don't know that in a swatch picture. You have no idea that this was a little bit thick or a little bit hard to work with. We're doing it on the live. You can see all that instantly. Hello, Holly Has Nails. Welcome in. I am showing off the Victorian Varnish Jazzed Jellies. They're going to release July 19th at the Polish Beauty Expo, but they will be available on Victorian Varnish's website July 31st at 8 a.m. Central as well. This right here is Funky Fresh. We did 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip, and then they dry matte. So we've also added a coat of Illuminate Glossy Top Coat there. Oop, y'all, it is so wiggly tonight. I think this one also does a good job at showing that glossy versus matte for the camera. Gorgeous blue. Trying to put all my swatch sticks over here on my desk and not stick them to each other. Easier said than done. What have we missed? Chrissy said, I love matte everything. Tammy says, these are walk out the door ready. The dry time on these is chef's kiss, and she is correct. I mean, y'all have seen it. You've watched them dry while we've been doing this. Next, we're going into our tubular. And this is a beautiful, I called it grape jelly. It's got a little bit of pink to it. It's kind of a magenta-ish color here. Again, it is a jelly. Chrissy, multichromes mattified are chef's kiss. Tammy said, well, some of us anyways. Chrissy, I appreciate it, matte swatches. Jess, I'm so sorry for my in and outs roommates. Ugh, with an eye roll. It's all right, Jess. And Chrissy said, so much. All right. First coat, again, we're on tubular. Again, I can't get it open. There we go. First coat. Yeah, I'm still sticking by the grape jelly reference I said earlier. It makes me think of grape jelly, and I love it. Now I want to do a peanut butter and jelly mani with this one. Tammy says it's between indigo and violet. Yeah, can see that. It's opacity on 1. You can see those beautiful moons and stars from that Moon Walking at Tinley topper. It's a very pretty shade. I'm still calling it. Ooh, you know what, y'all? If you don't have one of Vivi's little lights yet, first of all, you can get one with the big hair boom boxes. Y'all, I can't. There's so many words in that title. Big hair mixtapes and boombox polish. That's also coming to the Polish Beauty Expo. That it comes with this light, and look at that color, y'all. It is dead freaking spot on. So if you've always wanted this on your nails, now you can have it. Tammy says, love it. It's stunning. And it is already pretty much dry. As we were saying earlier, dry time is so fast, and they are ready to walk out the door as matted. Here's your opacity check with that Post-it. Tammy said your bore finger, right? It'll come off afterwards. No worries. I just feel bad because I feel like it's probably bothering someone in the video. But it is what it is, y'all. This is part of live swatches. They are messy and raw and unedited. All right, let's go in with the second coat here on the tip. Just the tip. Tammy sent heart eyes again. And again, look at the opacity difference. 1 coat, 2 coats. It's so rich and juicy. I am going to be showing these with a 1, 2, and 3 coats. I think I'm going to do like pinky, middle, whatever. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then some form of nail art or something on my index just to show what you can do with them. But I am definitely going to show them 1, 2, 3 coats so you can see how well they build up. Again, they are jellies. So we're never going to be 100% opaque, but we're going to have that juicy jelly vibe to them. Here's your Post-it comparison. 1 coat, 2 coats. Chrissy said, love it. Post-it purple. Post-it purple, that's a fun name. Yeah, I was like, if we do a Post-it polish, what color do we make it? I mean, my Post-its have Pikachu on them. They are my Pokemon. Y'all, we got so many of these sent to us from Pokemon for the shop. Even after giving them away for years, I still have a ton of them. So yes, I use them for personal use as well. Chrissy said, this is the most official live I've ever seen, right? It's like a super live. All right. Label shot, if I can turn it the correct way. Tubular. 1 coat versus 2 coats. This one definitely has a drastic difference in 1 and 2. Again, went on so beautifully. Dried down matte. Tammy's at right. Yeah, my hand is covered. Love it. Super jammy purple. Let's do our illuminate on one side. Ooh, yay. The kids are out with a bigger firework. See what that sounds like in a minute. All right. Carrie said, I think we also need a polish named Rorange. It needs to have like a lion on it. Can it's got to be a good orange though, y'all. Like a good orange. Or maybe not orange at all and we just call it a orange and confuse people. All right, there she is with the glossy. Tammy said, LOL, yes. Again, so juicy and scrumptious with it glossed. There's your matte versus your shiny. It's so pretty. It definitely still, y'all, I'm standing by grape jelly. Like, I can't unsee it, especially glossy. Here's your Post-it. 1 versus 2. I don't think this one needs a 3rd coat. We will do it because Tammy told us to do it when I swatch it, but like, she's pretty much there. Chrissy said raw orange and sent a tiger emoji and said maybe fall. Here is your label shot. 1 coat versus 2, shiny versus matte. If it will sit still. Chrissy, I'm holding you to that, Tammy. She sent some side-eye emojis. Gary said, me too. All right, we've got 2 more to swatch here. Next is Like Totally. And this is our pinky. It's got a little bit of purple to it. Like, if this was magenta, then this is fuchsia, I think. Like, it's got a little purple tone. Here's our actual pink, so you can see the difference between the 3. It's got a little bit of purple still in it. Maybe raspberry. Is raspberry the better descriptor? But it is, again, another jelly, of course. Chrissy said, come autumn, there best be a orange, else I might waste away. Y'all, you are thinking me and Tammy's ADHD combined are going to remember this. All right. Y'all, I did not open this bottle again. Okay, first coat going on. Ooh, look at how juicy and luscious she is. Yes. Okay, all right. Opacity. Quite thin, very jelly, very fun. Well, again, we're not looking for opacity on these. So I appreciate that thin jelly. Again, gives me highlighter vibes. Tammy said, yes, I completed a circle, if that makes sense. And we got to one of these. We got all of it between these, y'all, and our jellies from last year, the rainbow jellies. They were literally spelled out rainbow. We now have a full freaking rainbow of shades. We have all the shades of jellies we could want. And they're beautiful. Look at how dry it already is. It's already matted. Here's our Post-it note for opacity. Beautiful. Let's do a second coat on the tip. Michelle said, ooh, pretty. Of course, Pinky Purple Girly loves this one. We've got pink and purple in it. All right, second coat on the tip. There we go. Chrissy, I wrote myself a note for fall to remember orange. All right, we're leaving it up to Chrissy, y'all, because you know I'm not going to remember it. Second coat. Pretty good. This one I think would be a 3rd if you were trying to build completely opaque. but still a big difference between 1 and 2. Post-it note comparison here. 1 versus 2. Again, very, very pretty, and it's drying so quickly. If you needed to do a quick mani to get out the door, this is what I would grab. Throw these jellies on. They dry super fast. They are ready to go matted. You can just get out the door. Here is your label shot. 1 coat versus 2 coats there. Like, totally. Again, if you are not a clear see-through jelly fan, you can totally throw these over a base of any color. Victorian Varnish's Shimmer Sweets would be phenomenal under these. There's so many beautiful glowy shimmery options there. Or just a white in general, which is going to up the neon factor as well. All right, let's add our half Illuminate coat. Again, why am I showing you the Illuminate bottle? Because that's just what we do during lives. Anytime I pick up a polish, I show you a label. Carrie said probably good for refreshing up an old mani too. Yeah, you could just throw a coat of a jelly over top of something you had and see how they layer and get along. That's a really fun idea, Carrie. Yeah, there's a fuzzy. Can I get it off without making a mess? I think we did. All right. There is your shiny. Love it. Hello, Kikolamoa. Oh, y'all, I butchered that. Apologies. Welcome in. Do we have Keisha? Is that how I say the name in your bio? Let me know. I hate butchering y'all's names. I really do. But welcome in. I am showing off the Jazzed Jellies collection from Victorian Varnish. It is a 10-piece jelly collection coming to the Polish and Beauty Expo. They will also be available after the show on VV's website on July 31st, 8 a.m. Central. This right here is 1 coat of like totally at the base, 2 coats at the tip, shiny, top coated versus the way it dries matte. If y'all want to screenshot that one. Chrissy, over a black base, silver pull magnetic. These would be all phenomenal. Ooh, yes. Yes. And Tammy has a silver pulled magnetic. It was last year's shark bait duo. It was a shark themed duo for Shark Week. I believe a 2.0 version is available. I'm not positive on that, y'all. She did a red jelly with a black base silver magnetic. So that when you put the red jelly over it, it kind of looked like blood in the water. It was phenomenal. I know she re-released them as 2.0s. I don't know if they are still available on the site or not. All right, we have one more, y'all. One more of these phenomenal jellies. And I gotta tell you, I get the sneak peek here of all these swatch sticks lined up together. And it is so freaking good. I can't wait to put them all on camera and show you them all together. But our last one is the one I cannot say. Chia? I don't know, y'all. That's what I'm going with. Supposedly it's like, yeah, but with a chia at the beginning. I don't know. I'm not from the 80s. This one, though, y'all, is a hot, hot pink. It is actually not even coming up as pink as it is in real life. I feel like it's got a red tone on camera, but it is very pink. Tammy said it's all sold out. Chrissy said, hoo ha ha. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And a new one is coming for Polish and Beauty Expo. Ooh, yay. Good to know. Okay, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure Tammy will be sharing those. But let's get our first coat of chia on the thing. I don't know, y'all. I'm still feeling like I'm saying it wrong or weird or something, but it's what I'm doing. All right, Tammy said, laugh my ass off. Yep, y'all, I can't say it. I can't say it. I need to like Google it and then like insert it. Chrissy, one of the very few I have a backup of. Ooh ha ha. Yes. Shark bait, ooh ha ha. That actually, fun fact, y'all, was my text tone on my phone forever. It probably still technically is set as my text tone on my phone, but you know, phones don't make sounds anymore. But yeah, it goes shark bait, ooh ha ha. So here is our first coat of chia. I still don't know, I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it differently every time, so maybe one time I'll say it right. Tammy says it was so good. Yeah, that shark duo was amazing. Opacity check. Very cute. Again, still very much jelly. You can see all those beautiful stars and moons through there. Chrissy said yes. And once more, it's already starting to dry. Here is your Post-it note opacity check. I feel like having the white and the gray just helps show the actual opacity level better here. Michelle said, oh, that pink. Isn't it so pretty? Let's do a tip second coat here. There we go. Second coat. Definitely a difference in 1 and 2. Completely a difference. Again, I feel like opacity for a jelly at 3 with this one. 2 versus 1 on the Post-it check. Michelle said, I need this one. Well, they're going to be $12 individually. If you buy the 10-piece set at PBE, it'll be $100. If you buy the 10-piece set on the website, it will be $110. There is a discount for picking these up at the show. And again, we are already starting to dry. Tammy said, Kaylee, if you wanted to add Illuminate to your magnet order, it would not cost you any extra in shipping. Let me know if you want to add and I'll invoice you. And she said, gorgeous with heart eyes. And here is your label shot. I got fire all over the phone, y'all. All the fire emojis are coming through. Here's your 1 coat at the base, 2 coats at the tip. Tammy says it's pink, and it is. And I feel like the swatch stick is coming up better on camera. It's less red and more pink like it is, y'all. It is highlighter neon pink in person. Carrie says this is a fave. I agree, y'all. It's so bright. Perfect, perfect, perfect for summer. Love it. We got more fire coming up on the screen and hearts. Love. Okay. Let me do our Illuminate here, and then I will bring them all back, and we will do a black light glow test. And we'll do some very quick, fun nail art options so you can see what you can do with these a little bit. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them, y'all, if I'm being honest. We've already been on here for 2 hours. Kevin is currently cooking dinner. And I know y'all, he's so fantastic. He tries to time it. He's he'll always ask, how long do you think it's going to be? And I'll be like, oh, like an hour. And okay, well, I'll make this meal and I'll start it when you're about 20 minutes in. And he times everything so beautifully. So I don't want to make it wait too long, but I did promise some art. So we're going to do a few quick things just so you can see how much you can play with these too and how easy they are to play with and do creative things. Here it is with that Illuminate top coat. I did get an air bubble, so ignore that. I don't know why we're doing a shiny versus. All right, Post-it. Again, I don't know why I feel like Chrissy said pink. I don't know why I feel like I have to go with the shiny versus matte, but I do. I have to. I don't know why, y'all. It's just how we're doing things tonight. It's so shiny. That glossy is beautiful. I think this one I also prefer shiny. It is beautiful matted, but there's just something about it. It makes it extra juicy. It's like a watermelon with it shiny there. Stunning. Let me get a label shot for you once more here. This is our Cha. I still don't think I'm saying it right. I don't know. 1 coat versus 2 coats. Matte versus shiny. For your screenshot pleasure. All right. Now, I'm going to see if I can get them all back on camera here so you can see them together. Pardon my arm because the bottles are in my way. Okay, everybody just scooch. I'm putting them back on the screen exactly how we swatched them in what I feel is rainbow order. Of course, I have light green versus dark green and light pink versus dark pink and blah, 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 blah. But this is how I did them. So start to finish, if you want screenshots of our finished sticks. Can I get the other 2 on the screen? Can we do it? Are we going to get all 10 to fit? Okay, now I am very much aware the chat covers up a little bit. If you tap on your screen just above the chat, you can make the chat go down to 1 comment. So they do fit. They do fit. I'm going to turn off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let y'all screenshot that if you want to really quick. And then we're going to get out the little black light and see how these glow. All right, hopefully you got your screenshot. Turning off the arch light. leaving all the other lights on and the windows open, all that, y'all. So this is just like a kind of potential what they could look like. I've got my little UV keychain, my little black light keychain from Victorian Varnish. Again, if you purchase the big hair mixtapes and a boombox, this exclusive polish at the event. Overpours have potential for these to be available later on, but there's no guarantee. But if you pick this up, it is a glow in the dark, and it comes with one of these, or you can just purchase these from BV's site. But it is just a little black light keychain here, and we're gonna see. All right, everybody, so far. Ooh, hello. That blues are hard. Purple, which purple's not always great at glowing, and then our pinks, yes, look at them all glow. Tammy sent a rainbow. Chrissy said satisfying AF. Carrie said, oh my god, them all together. Isn't it so gorgeous? It's such a beautiful rainbow. And if you have last year's jellies, they are deeper, richer colors. They're not neons, so they will fit in this perfectly, and you will have a literal complete set of jellies. But look at that glow from them all, y'all. So good. And I told you these were highlighters. I didn't lie. Look at that glow, and then that highlighter pink. Yes. Melissa said gorgeous. I completely agree. It's a stunning, stunning rainbow, and they all glow beautifully. So an extra little fun additive to them. I'm going to turn that arch light back on. Carrie said, I do have the other jellies. I got to complete the collection. Yes. Chrissy sent heart eyes. Okay. I know I said I'm going to do art, and I am, but because these are all on the screen, I'm going to pull our info sheet back out here for screenshots, because I do have everything on the screen. And I think this is just going to be the easiest way to do this tonight. All right. I think that's the best I'm getting because the polish bottles are all there. Get rid of the glare. All right, so once again, Jazz Jellies, they come out at the Polish Beauty Expo on the 19th of July. That is shopping day. They're going to be $100 for the set at the show. That is a show discount, or $12 each. Or they will release July 31st at 8 a.m. Central, which I think the Central's not on screen. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Oop, there's more fireworks. Yay. All right, maybe kind of. Okay, there we go. 8 a.m. It's a morning drop that morning, and it's going to be $110 for the set from VV's site, or still $12 each. So again, you get a slight discount if you buy the collection at the show, but they will be available guaranteed on Tammy's site. Perfect. We got more fire emojis. Chrissy sent heart eyes, Tammy heart eyes, and a chef's kiss. And you can mix these just like with the others if you want it in between shades too. That's true. You can mix and match jellies. You can combine these. You can play with them, smear them together to make more colors. Super fun, endless possibilities. All right, getting that off the screen. I'm going to move these swatch wheels back out of the way. I'm not going to move them all the way out of the way because it will take me a year to fully move them, but at least I won't stick my arm in them now. Okay, I said we were going to play with these a little bit, and we are going to. I'm going to do some very simple things. So again, these are things you can do on your own with them. Even if you don't feel like you're great at nail art or you're not creative, I think this is easy to do things. So the first thing I want to start with is a smush. I do need to zoom in a little bit because you guys are not going to see anything. The first thing I like to do is a smush, which gives you kind of a stained glass vibe. So I'm going to take a stamper. You could do this directly on the nail, but there's the possibility of like too much polish. So I'm going to take a stamper. Again, I'm doing these on the clear swatch sticks so you can see how they're going to look because they are clear-ish, not opaque jellies. And I'm going to grab a few colors. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the green and the blue and the magenta, and maybe let's throw in a red. I don't know. I'm going to go with this combo here. Okay, so I'm going to go with these four polishes here. We have the Funky Fresh, the Like Totally, Gnarly, and Bodacious. And I'm just going to take my stamper and I'm going to put a few drops of them on the stamper. I'm just going to kind of add some in here. Now, y'all, I literally just randomly pick colors. Is this the best color palette to do this with? Maybe not. I literally just picked up 4. I also may add some of that yellow in for just a little brightness pop here. But again, I'm just going in. Ooh, that was a little bit more than I meant to add. Just kind of add in some colors. There's like super no rhyme or reason. If you're going to do this, I do recommend having a latex barrier on your cuticles, around your fingers to make cleanup easier on this. And I lied, y'all. I'm gonna grab that Bogus and add just a little bit of this yellow to give it some brightness in there. Yes. Ooh, okay, that was a big one. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna take my swatch nail and we're literally just gonna go in with that gently on the nail. We're not trying to super smush it. We're just pressing gently in and filling around. You can see not everything is coming off the stamper, so I'm just moving it around until I feel filled in enough. And like I've got this magenta here, and I want a little bit more magenta right in the middle. So I'm just going to angle my stamper to get in there. And then you have a smushy, and we're not zoomed in enough. Instagram, could you focus? Thank you. There we go. So we have a fun kind of smush, artsy swirl vibe. I'm going to let this dry and then we'll top coat it. So you can see it'll meld together a little bit more. But this can be worn on its own like this. It always makes me think of like melted gummy bears. Or if you stamped I don't know why we're not focusing now. If you stamped a stained glass image on top of this, you could get the stained glass vibes without having to color in every square or part of the image, if you will. I feel like we are not focusing and it is so frustrating. I'm going to get Illuminate out here. Illuminate, will you make it focus? Okay, all right. Now I feel like we're too zoomed. There we go. So it's swirly and pretty, and y'all saw how easy that was. And then for your stamper, as far as cleanup goes, I will literally just stamp this onto a paper towel. Actually, you know what? I have a paper towel right here. Oh, well, I did until I threw it on the floor. 2 seconds, hold please. All right, I have a paper towel right here. And I'm literally just going to clean off my stamper by stamping on the paper towel. If anything is too dry, you can then use your lint roller. And I think I just set that paper towel on top of that nail. But then just pick up the dry stuff and your stamper is clean and ready to go again. Super, super easy, y'all. Very easy, very fun. This is one of my favorite techniques to do with jellies. That again is not gonna focus. Post it, hello. There we go. And you can see it's already starting to dry. Tammy said, so cool. Melissa said, very pretty. Christina, that looks like a fruit roll-up, the tie-dye ones. Ooh, it does look like a fruit roll-up. Yeah, I just think it's so fun. It's such a super easy thing to do. It's very effective. And y'all saw, I just randomly picked up a few colors and look at how that came out. And then I'm going to just grab my Illuminate, which again, I'm showing on screen like you don't know what a clear polish looks like. And I'm going to top coat it. You can see it's matte. It is beautiful matte, but that top coat's going to kind of go through and melt everything together. So I am going to top coat this one with our Illuminate. Maybe, again, if I can get the bottle open. I'm not sure if Instagram is focusing. All right. And we are going to use the Post-it background because I know we're not focusing. But isn't that so pretty? This is truly one of my favorite things to do with jellies. It's so easy. And again, you can go directly on your nail. You can put dollops on there. But it doesn't like, you know, you can go overboard and they'll just have a mess to clean up. So I like to do it on a stamper head, but if you don't have one, you can definitely go straight on your nail. Isn't that so fun? So cute. You can stamp any image on this if you want to. You could use this as a background for water slides. You can just do it straight up as is. It's so, so fun. If you did this over a shimmer suite or a white background, it would definitely give you full-on opacity tie-dye vibes. And because we use dots of it or blobs of it versus painting it on, it is a little bit more opaque than a straight paint on one layer would be. It's probably equivalent to two coats of those colors. Hello, Crystal. Welcome, welcome. I am showing off the Victorian Varnish Jazz Jellies. We have swatched them all, and now I'm playing with them a little bit. This here is just a quick little smushy mani of them. We did, 5 colors here? Very fun. One of the next things that is even easier, y'all, are ombres with them, or dirty ombres, gradients, whatever word you want to use. And I'm going to go in with this orange and pink. I'm picking colors we haven't played with yet. Crystal said, hello. I should have checked an hour ago. I figured you'd be done, right? Nope, we are still playing. This was a 10-piece jelly collection. I'm also doing a little bit of quick nail art just to show how easy these are to play with. And I'm going to take, I kind of want to do a third color. No, I'm just going to do two. I'm just going to, y'all, I'm so torn. I'm just going to do two because it's going to be easier. You can obviously do this with three. If you're going to do it with three, I would recommend putting some of these on. Again, y'all, I have, look at my ugly stamper. This is my ugly stamper. I accidentally did it on the lid one day. It is very cloudy. We just played with the pretty clear one. This one's very cloudy because this is how I do my reverse coloring. I put blobs of polish on here and then pick it up with my brush. So if you're going to do more than two colors for a quick gradient with these, I would recommend putting blobs and then using your Victorian Varnish nail art brushes. This is my favorite one of theirs, y'all. Again, we don't judge. She's been loved. She's a little beat up, but I would then pick up and do your gradient with this. But for this purpose, because I want to show you how easy these are to also gradient with, I'm just going to go straight in with the brushes. We're going to use Gag Me with a spoon and Chia. I still don't think I'm saying it right, y'all, but whatever this one is, we're going to just do a quick dirty gradient with these. And I'm going to go up, down, because I feel like that would be the more typical way you're going to do it on your own nail. And this camera will not focus on these clear swatch sticks. I'm going to get both bottles open. That's going to make my life easier here. And we're going to start with our orange, which is Gag Me with a spoon. I thought the Post-it would help it focus better, and it's not either. So just bear with me on the focus. Carolyn said, you said it good. Yes, I finally said it. Okay, so I'm just going to take the orange and I'm going to literally just put it on over on one side. I'm not being too delicate with that middle line. And then we're going to take our pink. Hopefully I can do this without sticking my arm just in the camera. And we're going to go in here and we're going to, ooh, I'm about to drip on my background. Maybe I do need that Post-it. Okay, we're just going to go in. Again, I'm not being very delicate with that middle line. We're just brushing over each other until we get a nice blend that we like. We can go into the second coat. Again, we're not focusing. Thank you, Instagram, for being a pain in my butt. I am going to grab the other brush and we're going to do it again. And you can just see how well they're blending. Hopefully you can. You can't because Instagram's not focusing. But you see how well that blended? I'm going to go back in on the other side with the pink a little bit more. And there is a very quick jelly gradient. Again, you can do three colors if you want. You could go to side to side. Of course, that feels weird doing it horizontal lines on your actual nail. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but totally doable. And look at that beautiful blend to them. Chrissy, dang, I missed it. Say it again. Which one was that one, y'all? Oh, it was the Chia. Now I feel like a surfer dude. Yeah. I don't know, y'all. Anyways, but do you see how beautifully they blended together? And all I did was overlap and then just keep brushing those middle colors until they got nice and smooth. Actually, I'm going to show it kind of over this one so you can see that blend better. Very, very easy to gradient. You can use multiple colors. Again, I feel like if you're going to do more than two, I would dab some of it off the brush onto a stamper and then use a thinner nail brush to get in there. Slope said yes. And Melissa said Chia, I think. And the other Melissa, because we have two Melissas tonight, y'all, it's a Melissa party. So that was it. Surfer dude. Exactly. Okay. All right. I got it now. I got it, guys. Thank you. All right. Beautiful, easy gradients. Again, you can see it matte. It's drying matte. And if we wanted to illuminate it, again, I know we're not fully dry, but we ain't got time for that. All right, putting on a coat of Illuminate. I'm just going to do the bottom half so you can see matte versus shiny. We definitely were not dry, y'all. Wait until your nails are dry. This is what happens. When this happens, I literally just take it and do this on my mat until it's all clean, beautiful, and then put it back in my bottle. So there's a little bit of do as I say, not as I do. But look at that matte versus shiny here. Melissa said, other Melissa, name twin, slopes in a surfer, yeah, thumb thingy, wavy. Y'all, I can't do it. I can't fit my hand on the screen. And just said, Fast Times at Ridge. Is that the movie she hasn't seen? Not Quaaludes. No, the movie was Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure. Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure. That's what it was. All right. Beautiful gradients. Look at how gorgeous smooth that is. No sponges needed, but you could definitely use a sponge if you wanted, especially if you wanted to do more colors. That would be another alternative to doing it with a skinnier brush, is to sponge it on. But know that your sponge is going to soak up some of that jelly, and make sure you, helpful is to get your sponge wet first. It won't soak up quite as much. So there is a quick gradient. And then one more way I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to do a pond mani, which is one of my all-time favorite things to do with jellies. I did pond manis for all of the rainbow jellies last year. I actually picked, because they were labeled, they were named letters, so we had R-A-I spelling out rainbow. I picked an image that went with each letter of the name, so like A for apples, R for, y'all, I don't remember what I did for R, but you get the vibe. So, but for tonight, I'm going to grab, let me zoom you out a little bit so you can see here what's happening. Slope said, you and the Quaaludes, is this how you get all those nose hair polishes? Melissa said, LOL to the other Melissa. I'm going to use, I don't know why I'm doing that, flashing you guys. I'm so sorry. It's my habit to move stuff around like that on camera. I'm going to use our Steampunk Seas plate from the collab with Pretty Fingers by Robin. Tammy has a new plate that just launched. You can buy it on their site right now, or you can pick it up at PBE. I do not have it yet. I cannot wait to purchase it at the show, but I'm going to go in with the gears from this plate for our pond mani tonight. So if you've never done a pond mani, we are essentially going to smush stamping in between layers of our jellies. So I'm going to go in first with a swatch stick. And I'm going to go in with, I'm trying to like, what color have we not used yet? We did the wrong, y'all, I don't even know anymore. They're all, you know what? I'm going with the Wicked Cool, because y'all know I love my greens. So we're going to go with Wicked Cool. I don't know why it's not focusing again. It is irritating the crud out of me, but we're going to do a Wicked Cool. Okay, cool. All right. Chrissy laughed. I just can't. Let's see. Jess said, Scarface is one of my favorite movies. I always quote Quaaludes. I just can't spell it. Chrissy laughed. Elope said, say hello to my little friend. And Jess said, and Chelsea, you would like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's a classic. Put it on your list if you haven't seen it. I have seen, I feel like I have seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but it has been a long time. All right. Y'all, we're going to use Wicked Cool. This is what I'm going to do my pond mani with tonight. So I'm going to do one coat of this first, and we're going to let it dry for a second. I don't know if this was necessarily the thinnest jelly to do it with, but it's what I'm going to do it with. All right, so we're going to let this first coat dry for a second. Chrissy said, dang, I think I forgot to get the plate when I ordered. You might be able to add it, Chrissy. It will probably change your shipping because they do add weight, but you might be able to add it if Tammy hasn't shipped you yet. Jess said, Salopes, I had my husband a custom poker table made for his 50th with a Scarface quote in the middle. Love it. Oh, I love that too. And Langvin Jenny just joined. Welcome, Jenny. I showed off swatches of the Victorian Varnish Jazz Jellies tonight. I've done all 10 of them. We are kind of playing with some art now to show what you can do with these beauties. This right here is one coat of our Wicked Cool. And then I am going to scoot some stuff around so you guys can see. Again, we don't judge. This is how I stamp personally. So I have my stamping plate here. I have my scraper. This is one of the Pretty Fingers by Robin scrapers. I've cut it in half because I just like a smaller scraper. That's a personal preference. And then I am going to use What's Up Nails Blank My Mind. This is a white stamping polish. It is designed for stamping, so it's a little bit more opaque and has some more working time with it. Slope said, Jess, that's amazing. I need to see a pic. Virginia just came in. Welcome, Virginia. I am going to do a pond mani with a Victorian Varnish Jazzed Jelly polish. These come out at the Polish Beauty Expo, and then they release on Victorian Varnish's website later on July 31st. I'm going to go in with this gear image, y'all. I'm just going to take the white stamping polish and I'm going to fill up that little gear section. I'm sorry if I'm bouncing the camera around. I do not do live stamping very often. Tammy has now gotten me twice to do this. I'm going to move my thing so I can pick it up a little easier. This is not a normal thing for me. So I'm just going to take my scraper, do a quick scrape. We're going to do a very gentle roll to pick up our image. You don't want to play with it too long because you don't want it to dry. And then we're just going to kind of stick our gears on here. I did a horrible job of lining that up, but you get the gist. So then what we're going to do is we will apply another coat of our jelly. I'm going to give this just a second to dry so I don't smear that white stamping. What did I miss? What did I miss? Chrissy, right? That sounds awesome for the table. And nah, Tammy ships too fast. That's true. Chrissy said, I think I'm getting my package tomorrow. Slope said, right, blink and your shipping confirmation. I swear, y'all, she just knows what we order, like, and has it prepackaged. She's reads all of our minds. All right, and then I did just clean off my stamper on my little lint roller. I know I'm not doing all that on camera, y'all. There's not a lot of room going on. Okay, I do need to clean this off. I did not have to clean my stamper the other night when we did this. Wasn't prepared with that part. I don't do live stamping. This is all new territory. All right, I'm just going to grab a cotton ball dipped in some acetone. And I need to clean that white off because we are going to use the same image on our next coat. And while that sets and dries, I'm going to go back in with Wicked Cool and do a second coat. We're going to do it right on top of that white stamping. Again, y'all, you usually let everything dry very well before you do your next coat. We're alive. We don't have time for that. So second coat of Wicked Cool. I'm just going straight on top of those gears. Beautiful. And you could totally leave it here as a sandwich if you wanted. See, I smeared that gear. It was not dry enough. So let it dry more than that. Honestly, y'all, by the time you get done with all your fingers and then go back, you should be dry. Let's see. Chrissy said, yes, haha. Tammy said she loves me. Melissa, ooh, what's that stick with the cotton ball? So this is, which y'all, these are not, you can't get these anymore. This one's from Sally's Beauties. It's a cotton claw. So it's got a little plunger valve and then a claw, and you grab your, so it saves your nails from getting all wet and gross. There are other brands who sell different versions. You can get a metal one on Amazon. I think it scratches your plates. It's not my favorite. This one is from Sally's. They do not carry them anymore. I actually, when I found out they were discontinued, I bought 2 extras. And I think I'm down to 1 extra in a drawer, but yeah, it is so great. There are other styles of them, and I know that some of the like Little Box of Horrors and things like that have a different one. So just Google cotton claw and you'll probably find it. Michelle said, so cute. Carrie said, love this. May inspire me to try stamping. Yes, so you can totally leave it like this, y'all. But we are doing a pond mani, so we want layers of it. So we're going to do another layer of those gears. And when I stamp them, I'm going to stamp it off center so they're not on top of each other. We want to be able to see them both layers through it. Melissa said, cute. I use a bag clip. That's a great idea. I've seen people use clothespins as well. All right, so again, I'm going to do another, I lost my scraper here. I'm going to do another coat of white. And you can also, this plate, if you guys are liking this plate, this is still available on Tammy's site. It is Steampunk C's plate. And I'm going to do a quick pickup. And again, I'm going to try and do this through the camera. It is not easy, and I'm not lining up my gears. I want them to be a little off-centered from each other, so you can see that one in the middle in between the two. If Instagram would focus, please. Okay. And again, I'm going to let this dry for just a minute, and we're going to top it with one more layer of our jelly. I cleaned off my stamper, grabbing that cotton ball wherever I put it, and I'm going to clean my thing. I have a thing about cleaning everything before I put it away, and I do always clean up my desk after every mani, so when I come back in, I can instantly sit down and do it. That is an ADHD/OCD thing for me. ADHD is so easy to walk away from, but I need to be able to come in and sit down and focus, so I got to do it first. What did I see? We're missing comments here. Jess said, Melissa said, Jess, oh my gosh, really? Sheen has them. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm going to have to check those out because I definitely need extras. Jess said they did a couple years ago at least. Chrissy, wait, what are we using clothespins and bag clips for? Instead of a cotton claw, if you don't have one for stamping, it's just a little, y'all, I have something very similar that's a pickle grabber. Also, yes, my cotton ball is dirty because we already used it, but I don't waste. I use 2 different sides. When all sides are used on the cotton ball, then I throw it away. But I have a pickle claw too that's very similar. Hello, Polish Methus. Polish me this, that, y'all. Reading fundamental. Welcome in. I am showing a quick design using the Jazz Jellies from Victorian Varnish. This is wicked cool. I'm just doing a pond mani. And again, y'all, once you're dry, Instagram focus, hello. I'm going to go in with a second coat. Well, I guess this is now our third coat of this because we did a base coat, we did a white stamping, and then we're doing another here. And you can see how that original gear, y'all, Instagram is killing me with the focus. Okay, you can see, there we go. That original gear is just darker than the second layer of gears. And that's how you get the pond mani. It's layers, like layers of creatures and fish and seaweed and such in a pond. I love a pond mani. I think they're so easy. They're so fun. It's very effective. And you can see it's already drying matte. Tammy said, this is stunning, to be honest. I love this. I really love how the gears came out. I'm not going to lie. Like, I for sure would wear this mani. Like, honestly, I haven't come up with my PBE mani yet. And now I'm like, what if I did all 10 jellies, one on each finger with steampunk pond? Like, how cool would that be? I wish I had the new plate because the new gears on there are like paint splatters. And then that would be my mani. I could walk around like, get the jellies, get the plate at the table. Oh, okay. Anyways, how fun is this? And so easy. Y'all saw that took like no time at all. By the time you stamped each finger and then went back, like this would be such an easy mani. And you could do every color you want. Carrie said, that is so cool. We got distorted face emoji from Michelle. The camera is shaking. I'm so sorry. Michelle said, me too. I have to clean all my tools too. Yeah, I clean up everything. Sometimes after a live, if I'm too exhausted, y'all, I'll come back the next day. But I even try after a live to get everything nice and clean. Jess said, brilliant. Carrie said, this is so cool. Michelle, oh, I have to try this once I learn to stamp. Yes, it's so easy. I promise you. But stamping takes a minute to get used to it. But once you get the vibe, it's so simple. Melissa said, wow, thank you. Pond manis now makes sense. Oh, I'm so glad I could help. Chrissy, that's super cute. Jess, ooh, yes. Michelle said, yes, that would be cool. Tammy said, I can send the new one. I told you. I was just going to pick it up at the show. Like, but now I have this vibe, so I need it. Tammy said, Chelsea, nah, I can wait. Me, you sure? Ships tomorrow. Okay, all right. I'm going to do one more thing because I was only going to do these, and then I remembered one last thing I wanted to do with this. I'm sure Kevin's in the other room going, would you shut up already? But I have one more thing, and it's very quick, and it's another super quick art you can do. So I was like, why do I have one more? Y'all, I literally planned this out, and I pulled out 4 sticks, and I couldn't remember why I had a 4th stick. So 4th stick, I'm going to get, who do we want? You know what? I feel like I haven't done much with our tubular yet. So I'm going to get tubular. Chrissy is sending laughing emojis at Tammy. All right, tubular. I'm going to go in with 1 coat of tubular here. And we're going to do a jelly sandwich with this one. Jelly sandwich is just as simple as a pond mani. We're going to put down a base of our jelly. We're going to let it dry. And then we're going to sandwich in between it. You can literally put anything you want in between this. You can do a flaky bomb. You can do... y'all, my brain, if you've got foils, anything you want. I'm going to go in with a glitter. I'm going to take our Moon Walking at Tinley. This is one of the doorbusters. It's a beautiful hollow topper. It is packed with moons and stars in here. Chrissy, I think I forgot my damn plate, so you might still see a random little baby order from me this week to Tammy. I'm going to go in with this. Oops. Tammy said, ah. Why is my chat not scrolling again? Jess said, yes. Okay, yeah, I had this. As soon as I swatched this earlier, y'all, I was like, ooh, we need a jelly sandwich. So we're not totally dry. Let your polish dry. Again, just do as I say, not as I do. And I'm going to take, woo, somebody's doing fireworks again, y'all. That startled me. Loud noises startled me. I am that person. All right, I am just going in with a brush here of that Moon Walking at Tinley. I got lots of stars. I got a moon. I got 2 moons. We talked about this the other night. You do not have to dig for anything in these. First of all, you could stop here. Look at how fun this is. It's still see-through. It's still juicy and fun. You could stop, totally top coat this and love it as is. I'm going to let it dry for a minute. We do have a little bit more dry time here with this one because it's not a jelly. Also, let me move that really ugly stamping paper towel out of the way. That's what I stamp with, y'all. I even folded it so it was the cleanish side out tonight. I tried to make it look better, but y'all, nail polish can be messy. That's, I mean, hello, look at my finger from today. Look at my other hand. Good Lord, we're a mess. All right. Again, that was our Moon Walking at Tinley. It is one of the 2 doorbusters Victorian Varnish is going to have at the event. Here it is matted, if you've wondered that. It's still absolutely gorgeous matte. This one is, I believe, $9 at the show, question mark. Yes, that's what the paper says. So absolutely beautiful. This is an exclusive limited edition, so it probably will sell out. There is no guarantee on overpours of this one. And I honestly, y'all, I would not hold your breath. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. All right. Gonna go back in with our tubular and we're gonna do a second coat. So this topper is so sparkly. I use it for part of my 4th of July mani. Michelle said, I did a manicure like this last week. I love that topper. All right, so I'm literally just, y'all, when did I stick my freaking hand in it? Okay, we're ignoring that. I'm gonna go back in with tubular and just do a second coat right on top of those moons and stars. Okay, I'm like slightly thinking, did I not choose the best color for this? Okay, no, there we go. There we go. I was like, man, I moved on my stars. Again, let your stuff dry. But you can see this beautiful sparkles through that jelly. Again, use a flaky topper, use a glitter topper. You can do this with nail foils or pieces of like gold foil chunks. There's all kinds of things you can sandwich in between jellies. Super, super fun and magical. Tammy said $9. Yes, $9. Thank you. Chrissy sent sparkles. Michelle said plus. I throw some elbows. Y'all back it off till I get mine. I am buying probably another bottle, maybe 2, because I personally want to back up, but I also know my sister is going to die over this one. So Slope said always got to have a Chelsea fingerprint. I don't know when I even did it. I don't even see it on my hands. I think maybe I hit it with a paper towel. I don't know. Super, super fun, super effective. Again, very easy to do with our jellies. Slope said, Jess, I've seen you in action. Watch out, people. Chrissy, I really hope I can snag an overpour of this. Tammy said, it's like the night sky. Yeah, it's so fun. And again, you could totally let it dry matte or you can top coat it with your Illuminate. I did top coat this topper when I did my swatches with a coat of VV's steamroller to smooth it out first. So I would probably, well, the jelly kind of did that. So I think just an Illuminate would be fine on this one. Do we need to do that? Tammy said, I'm going to do my best for overpours on this one. So again, y'all, if you have to have this polish and you cannot make it to the show, I highly recommend going to the Polish Beauty Expo Facebook group and looking for the fairy thread. That is someone who can shop the show for you and then ship you your things. Y'all, this was so not dry. I have made just the biggest mess. It is smushy and gross now, and I apologize, but you can see that hollow and sparkles even more now that it is shiny. But definitely find a fairy, and they can pick this up for you if you want to be guaranteed. But Tammy said she's going to do her best to have overpours. She said, I have a lot of it, just hard to tell how much to bring. Chrissy said, me too, but I doubt it. I'm sorry, Michelle said. Chrissy said, although I do have an unofficial fairy, so might have to add this to the list. Melissa said, I need this. Jess said, another request for a hold and back hollow and black version. Jess, gold, not hold. Okay, gold and black. Michelle said, you got to make gallons of this topper. 1 gold and 1 black hollow is what she's saying. Carrie, I can pick one up for you. And Christina said, Jess, you used up all your requests of those damn nose hairs, right? All right. So fun. Again, I'm going to grab the 4 quick designs we did and throw those on screen. So if anybody wants to screenshot ideas and remember some of the fun, easy manis, I feel like that was pretty easy, y'all. You know, it didn't take us too long. And look at those 4 super fun designs we did with our beautiful jellies. I'm telling you, pond manis, I love me a pond mani. I do. This, anything stamped over this is just going to look like stained glass. It's so much fun. Chrissy's laughing. Justin, man in the moon nose hairs. Our body needs that. Tammy sent our distorted face emoji and Christina is laughing. All right. Wonderful. I think I can flip y'all around. We're going to chat for just a second, and then I'm going to let you go because we've officially hit the 2.5 hour mark. All right. Flipping y'all around. Ooh, scooting back. We're real close and up personal there. Let's see. Man in the Mirror Nose Hairs. Tammy sent our distorted face, said love them all. Michelle sent laughing and more distorteds. And Chrissy is laughing. So yes. So many fantastic polishes here, so many wonderful nail art ideas, and if you're not into nail art, you can totally wear them on their own, wear them as Skittles, mix and match, whatever you want. The possibilities of Jellies are super, super endless. Again, if you have last year's rainbow set that she did, they will mix beautifully in with these. You can mix the colors together, you can play around with them. Tammy did some lives last year, literally mixing the colors, so if you want a brown jelly, she showed you what colors to mix together for brown or a darker green or any of that. So you can totally play with these with those jellies too. Again, Polish and Beauty Expo is when these release, but they will be on the VV site July 31st, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Write it down, y'all. She always does p.m. and it threw me off. 8 a.m. Central Time, July 31st. You can get your hands on these jellies if you're not attending the show. So it will also save you a little bit of money if you are getting a ferry for the show, that these ones can be weight and you can pick them up later on the website if you want. Now they are $10 cheaper to buy the whole set at the show, and obviously you'll save shipping, well, kind of, because you're having your stuff shipped to you. Anyways, they will be on Victorian Varnish's website as well. What are we missing? Melissa said, thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us, Melissa. I cannot wait to see you at the event in less than 2 weeks. Christina said, go eat, enjoy dinner. Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm hungry. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm on a live. You know I'm hungry. Maybe lives just make me hungry. Chrissy, this has been the best distraction from work ever. Well, I'm so glad I could help, Chrissy. Thank you for chatting and keeping it lively in here. Jess said, perfect match for Moon Walking. And Carrie said, I never thought I'd get into stamping, but you changed my mind. Oh, I'm so glad. If you want any tips and tricks, y'all, I definitely recommend joining Pretty Fingers by Robin Stamping Plates and Pretty Fingers Facebook groups. Robin, the owner of Pretty Fingers by Robin, she does videos and stuff all the time showing you how to use her plates and cool ideas and tips and tricks. Honestly, the paper towel I used for our Smush Manny background earlier, she does this really cool technique where she puts polish on a stamping or on a paper towel and then picks it up with her stamper and puts it on, and it's like a really cool textured thing. I learned that from her in her tutorial, so I would check her out. She's phenomenal. But feel free to message me if you have any questions about stamping. It can be frustrating at first. It is a technique that takes a little bit of time to figure out, and then once you do, sky's the limit. I'm telling you. Tammy said, I gotta get on that. And the next week is gonna be so busy. Melissa said, I can't wait to see you too. Michelle said, fun, thanks. And Christina said, I can't wait to get these at the show. I love jellies. Michelle, I found a great Stamping 101 video if anyone wants to know. Ooh, fantastic. So hit up Pinky Purple Nail Girly if you want the Stamping 101 video that she found. Chrissy said night, and Michelle sent our distorted face emoji. On that note, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go eat. I will be seeing you again this week, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Kevin's birthday, so I will not be live tomorrow. He would probably kill me, even though, honestly, he probably would be nice and understand, but I will not be here tomorrow. But later this week, you'll definitely see me. I have 2 or 3. Oh no, I have more on the way. I have at least 3 more PBE lives plus other normal lives to show you, so you will still be seeing me. You will be totally sick of this face by the time PBE is over. But yes, I will see you guys all again later. Kaylee said, oh my god, you're still here. I am still here. We did nail art tonight, so if you want to check out those, definitely watch it. If you watch the replay, y'all, first of all, everyone tonight gets cookies for hanging out. If you watch the replay all the way through, extra cookies, because that's a lot too. But if you do watch the replay, leave me a comment. I love responding. Let me know which nail art you liked the best, which one you want to try, or if you haven't done nail art, if any of these made you want to do nail art. So Tammy said, happy birthday, Kevin, and you're never sick of me. One day it might happen, y'all. It might happen, but okay, I'm gonna let you all go. I will see you in the next one. Bye.